Hello.
Here I am. Hello.
What's up, everybody?
Hey.
Hello.
Everyone say hi.
Yo.
Hello, I'm Pig
What's
Puncher.
up?
You guys all know me.
Nice.
Nobody
nice.
cares, Big Puncher. I am Conure. Hello, everybody. You may have seen me last night.
All right.
In what way?
Quickly editing volume to make sure everyone sounds about good. Lexi, say something.
Hey, I'm Cyber Witch Lexi. How's it going?
That sounds good. Vermin?
Hi, this is Vermin,
Yeah,
or Hyena, as you guys may know me.
There we go.
Hi.
Volume levels sound good. So chat and everyone watching, again, varying levels of experience here, but that doesn't matter. It's all about collective storytelling. Now, really quickly, before we jump on into what's actually going the fuck on, a brief introduction to the rules of Dungeons & Dragons. Generally speaking, the way it works is, I create a situation, and then the players respond to that situation. That's basically the back and forth. It's like a big game of improv, except with math involved. So that's fun. Usually, there will be heavy conversations, dialogue, and lore that will be explored with the world, heavy bits of narration, and there will also be more technical elements of combat or like a dungeon navigation, you know. And it's usually the merger of these two disparate elements that makes a really fun campaign. So we'll be yes, and throat clearing. So we'll be doing our best. And with that said, let's get the fuck started, my friends. We open on 5 intrepid adventurers. Now, that's not their day jobs necessarily, but they nonetheless find themselves in that position. They have spent quite a long time walking. They just traversed through a dusty forest trail that looks more well accommodated for the like of bear and deer than it does caravans. It's rough, hewn and worn. Their feet are probably tired. The music is loud. They want to go home and play video games. And also, some pretty fucked up stuff happened on the way over here. But that's okay. They've made their way through that forest, heading south into a small town nestled in a clearing adjacent to the base of a mountain. It's an old mining town. And that mining town needs help. You see, 2 weeks ago, the intrepid adventurers, aforementioned, happened across a posting that was put in the town square of a much larger, more industrial trading town. It was a cry for help. The town needed people, strong people there, to help them out of a snafu. The posting was worn. The edges were frayed. It was bleached by the sun. There was no date written on it as for when it was posted. But they took the job anyway. No reward was even specified, save the vague promise of a town's eternal gratitude. After traipsing their way through the forest, these 5 intrepid adventurers have finally broken out into the clearing in which the town sits. And those 5 intrepid adventurers are, in order from left to right, please introduce us to the extent that you would like to introduce yourselves. Hey, Conure, hit us up. Who's your character?
Hello, my name's Kazooie. I'm a bit of a bird boy. I am a Aarakocran monk. Way of the Soul Knife. I'm going to break out a character real quick. I'm very flashy and flamboyant, as you will soon see. But in character, I'm pretty reserved. I don't try to draw too much attention to myself. I don't like to put myself in harm's way. Also, this accent's not really something I was born with. I developed it over the time that I was acting as a liaison between the pirate crew I worked for and the nobility that we may do dealings with. So if I break out of it, it's totally not because I'm bad at this accent. it's because, you know, there's in-character reasons, right?
Gripping. What's your race and class?
I am an Aarakocran monk.
How pretty are you?
Huh? We haven't rolled that yet, but I mean, I'm all right.
I think you're pretty darn good looking. You've got a good fashion sense, Kazooie.
Thanks.
And how about yourself, Vermin Hands? Want to introduce yourself to the class?
And I can be heard just fine, right?
You can be heard just fine.
Okay, I'm not going to do character voice or anything right now. I'm going to hold that off. But my character, as you would probably see them, is a like 5 8, being in a like wrapped head cloak and a plague doctor mask. They have tassels over their shoulders that have some intricate details on them, and are just wearing a nice leather pants and boots, and seem to have a vitiligo on their most noticeably hands, that their legs are covered. They're bare chested, and on that bare chest, you can't make out nipples or anything, but there is a sheen of scales, and they have a rather large, long tail. So,
No fat
yeah.
milkers, sadly.
She has, up to this point, been pretty elusive with the group, a bit not standoffish, but just kind of out of the way, and is noticeably, I guess, a cleric, and her domain is protection. So
Beautiful. No snitties for us, it seems. Pig Puncher, do you want to introduce yourself to the class? Who steps out from that forest into the clearing, beholding the town that they have traveled towards?
I be Xanderhal. I am a drow swashbuckling rogue, and I am good. I was forsaken by my people a long time ago for not following their teachings, but I respect women more than anything, and my number one goal in this world is to destroy all forms of authoritarianism.
Arr.
Also, I'm 6'4", fully fucking tatted, and if anyone has a problem with me, they can come see me, because I'll smack the fuck out of them.
Lexi.
Hello. I'm Exilia. I am a tiefling druid who cares a whole lot more about plants and animals than she does about people. People aren't very exciting or kind, so she likes animals a lot more. She is a druid of Circle of the Land, specifically the forest. Yeah, she's dressed in a very raggedy cloth. She looks like she hasn't spent a lot of time bathing, being around other people very often. She likes spending time by herself.
Now, 2 quick questions. For one, how gay would you say they are? Just appearance-wise.
Oh, very.
Okay, high levels of gay. How big
High
are the horns?
One horn. So these horns I'm wearing aren't quite accurate. One horn, it's very like a crescent moon shape. Her horns. One is a lot smaller than the other.
Excellent.
But I don't have anything that matches that. So
yes, that would be a custom order. Beautiful.
hey,
And
you can
finally,
pull up the character tokens also.
yes, there's also that. And finally, last but not least, the architect of the entire digital framework around which I have built my streaming career, the one, the only server admin, god of V.GG, White Nervosa. Who steps out into that clearing?
A tall, lanky figure that is an Asimar paladin who loves hugs. And they excitedly walk out and greet everybody with passion and shout, hello.
Beautiful.
As a neutral and good figure with an oath of devotion, yeah. Okay.
Phenomenal. Thank you. And I am happy to say, reciprocally, your hello echoes meaningfully into the abyss, because the town that you have stumbled across is dead. Not literally dead. It's very empty. I can tell you now what this looks like. You've crossed through this forest, and a bleak forest it was, too. This was no merry, verdant green, even though it should be. It's springtime. The rains fall heavily in this season. You'd expect this to be a verdant patch of life, but the forest was quiet and somber, and the town even more so. It's odd. You're looking at the town. You can see all of it now. It's open in the clearing, and there are portions of the town that is built further up into the mountain. You can see them all from where they are, and there's something very wrong. with how this town looks, Mordhill was written on the posting in that town square you found two weeks ago. Mordhill is a anachronistic little place. The buildings are large, much larger than you would typically expect from a little hamlet filled with peasants. It's a mining town. This should be a place of industry and expectant poverty. But the buildings are large. They're box-like. Most of them are two-storied, and some of them are actually quite opulent. You can see a building some perhaps 600 or 700 feet in front of you. It looks functionally like a town hall in a hamlet that could support a population of no more than a few hundred. A building that wouldn't look out of place in a city of tens of thousands. But even more than that, more peculiar, it's midday, the most productive hour of the day, and there's not a single person along the streets. Empty streets, cobblestone paved down the road, dust blowing across the stones, unkempt, weeds clinging to the mortar between the stones. And the building closest to you is not even a building at all. It's well, it used to be a church. It's ruins now. It's collapsed into itself. The bell tower has fallen down. The bell itself, large again, fitting for a town much larger than this, is broken. 12 feet across, just laying there. The ruins of this church look as though they've not even been looted. It's just dead and rotting. Everything about this looks dead and rotting, from the cracks in the stonework and paint laid across the foundation of the buildings before you, to the unkempt roads. It just looks wrong. And as you move forward into the town, closer towards it, joining with one of the roads, you finally hear something. It's the first thing you hear at all, actually, in quite a while. No birds chirp here, no frogs croak. Even the rats, which you can see internally skittering around the ruins of that church, you hear not a skitter from them. It's extraordinary. But you certainly hear a skitter from this man. You see, a little past that church, there are houses. And in front of one of those houses is a porch, and on top of that porch is a man, a large man, human, bearded. Beard goes nearly down to the mid-chest. Whitish gray hair, pepper-streaked, older, large and fat, strong-looking, mountainous man. And he is pounding at that door. And you can hear him clear as day. Matthew! Matthew, you open this door! You can't protect her forever! Matthew! Before, after collecting himself a moment, turning to see what must have been for the first time in a long time, strangers to this town. What? Who the fuck are all of you?
Who is Matthew?
My name be Xanderhal. Who are you?
What? Did you come from the forest?
We did. We came here because we found a posting that said your town needed help.
Oh gods. Not more. He buries his head in his hands. He steps off of the porch and returns to the road to face you all a little more clearly, not twisting his neck anymore. What? You made your way through the forest.
We did, but I won't lie, we saw some disturbing things in there.
You saw disturbing things in the forest.
I laugh along.
He steps closer. He's no longer caught in the shadow of the house he was banging on the door of. There's something deeply wrong with his face. The pepper-streaked hair is slicked back. He looks unwashed and unkempt. Dirt streaks his face. But these things are not in any way unordinary for a peasant villager. What's wrong, though, there are streaks of gray across his face. True necrosis. like spider webs or cracks in a foundation, running from his cheek through his eyes. He's missing hair, but not in the way you would normally expect of a middle-aged man. There are patches of it gone, thinning in weird, errant ways, almost as though some brute had ripped the hair out directly from his scalp. There are open scabs on his neck. He comes closer to the five of you. You... Oh, you made your way through the forest. My name's Robin. He holds out a hand towards you, Xanderhal.
I refuse to shake his hand and I say, give me a moment, sir. And I turn to the party and I whisper to Exilia, perhaps you may want to use that detect magic thing you did before. This guy, something about him sort of gives me the creeps.
I'm not so sure about that at this point. I mean, we could, but I don't know. He seems okay.
Robin, I feel like the question has gone unanswered. Who is Matthew?
Oh. I don't expect outsiders to be familiar with anything that's going on here. He's a boy. He's one of our boys. He's alive, for now at least. I need your help.
For now.
You came here to help the town. Can you help me?
I suppose so.
You've got to explain the situation a little better, though.
What is your problem?
We need a requisitioner's order. I don't have the authority to give one of those. I can send you to the gravekeeper. He's near here. He can explain the situation better than... My cough... Hey, it's me, Vaush. My cough is mostly gone. That's the cough of the characters, just clarifying. Important lore.
Well, just by the way, while this is going on, I would like to look at the church. I don't really care about this dude, but I would like to know if there's any symbols of the god that it was.
Oh yeah,
like
roll investigation while I settle speaking with White.
Yeah, for sure.
He continues speaking. He says, I haven't the authority to give such an order, and it'd be best if you understood what exactly it was you're doing.
An order?
Would you follow me? I can take you to the gravekeeper. He can explain things better than I.
Well, pardon, but why did you need to get Matthew's attention so badly?
Because he's a damn fool boy who's mama's boy who loves her too much, and he's going to get himself and his family killed, and the rest of us too. Please, just... We've bread, too. You must be hungry. Just come with me.
You've bread.
So, you say this gravekeeper can tell us what's going on better than you can?
That is what he said, yes.
He begins to walk down the road. Before we continue, let me resolve the investigation roll. Hen, you, because you're quite near to the ruined church, you take a look at the rubble. And this is, by the way, again, this is quite an opulent church. This, or at least it was. But you can see in the rubble, you can see the remains of shattered stained glass windows. I mean, this isn't some pithy little one-room little worship hall, some little shrine that you would expect from some outpost village. This is a real church, or at least it must have been back in its heyday. You investigate through the rubble. You are actually not able to find any indication of what god, or even alignment this church may have been oriented around. In fact, it seems to be completely absent of any identifying characteristics whatsoever. There's nothing on it indicating alignment, religion, god, or even which species it was built by. It's almost the idea of a church without any particular adherence to what its worshippers might have wanted.
Okay. At this point, the dude is talking to the party, right?
Yes.
Okay. Once they're done talking, I will ask him a question.
Yeah, then I'll give you
Robin.
priority. Go for it.
Oh, right now?
Yes.
Oh, I will turn to the man. Did he say? What was his name?
Robin.
Robin. I'll turn to Robin, and I will say, "Excuse me, sir. Whose place of worship is this?"
The church?
Yes.
Oh. Nobody, really knows? I've been here. He continues walking down the road. It's a bit of a walk to where he's getting, so we're not in tremendous hurry. I have lived here. I came here 20 years ago. Work was good when the mines were running. And, and it wasn't there. And then one day it was. The requisitioners from the capital must have built it overnight, or something like that. I don't know. To my knowledge, nobody ever even used it. It was just there. And it collapsed some few months ago.
I
How did it
will
collapse?
nod, and I will cast a skeptical look backwards as we walk.
Nice.
Oh yeah, can I roll insight?
Into him?
Yeah.
To determine what specifically?
If he's being honest.
You can give a shot, but honest in regards to what?
I just want to see if maybe this isn't the whole story. I just want to know if this is what he truly believes.
I can give you like a feeling of any. Yeah, roll for it. Roll. Chat, for those of you who don't know, the right side there, the chat window that you can see, is the Roll20 chat. So you can see any rolls that are done within it.
That's insight?
Yeah, roll insight.
Ah.
You take a look at Robin, and you, after 10 to 12 seconds of furious contemplation, come to the conclusion that he was speaking to you and said words. His mouth moved, and that enabled him to speak the words. That's about what you gleam from
Nice.
from him. That's about the level of your investigation.
Oh yeah, I don't care about him. I'm too focused on the church, honestly.
Yeah. Also, you trip on your shoelaces.
Shut up.
Damn.
I'm not wearing shoelaces, so fuck off.
Bootlaces.
I don't have laces, so fuck off.
You
Uh,
trip
Can I
on
roll to
Bandages.
support her if she stumbles?
Yes, you can you can catch in like the dancer's pose, you know. But I think she's fine.
Can I ask
Alright,
him
I
a
saved your life.
question?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, hit it up.
So, Robin, right? You haven't happened to notice any, I don't know, skeletons, anything like that roaming around here?
Ha! There's one inside you, you know.
I
Oh, I mean,
suppose there is.
I mean, there have been many dead here. I've seen more than I care to recount. Actually,
Have you spoken to any?
not typical skeletons. No. Out of curiosity, it's been a while since I've left this village. Have you ever, by chance, met a large skeleton, a large one, bipedal? It walks on two hind legs, almost as a wolf skeleton. It
Why do you
speaks.
ask?
Me
It's a bit of
either.
Who are you asking?
A bit of a strange creature you're talking about.
Me
Why do you
either.
ask?
As
Why
a
do you
matter of
ask then,
fact,
Robin?
we may have
He's
seen
asking, why do you
something.
ask?
I was asking, why do I ask?
No, just Vosh didn't reply, so I wasn't sure if that was intentional or because of over talking.
You never know which one it's going to be. Let me turn your volume up a little bit, Vermin. You're a little on the quiet end. There we go. Pump those numbers. That's better. Who asked what?
I asked Robin why he was asking about this creature.
Thank you. To which he responds, me either, and continues walking. You've walked long enough now. You've carried yourself along the cobblestone road further into the town. Now you're further in. You can see more around you. And what you see is, to put it lightly, not particularly encouraging. There's still nobody out. It's just the 5 of you and Robin. The houses are nearly identical. Before, glorious capitalist automation, there was generally a degree of personalization with domiciles. You live as a family in a place for decades, possibly centuries, especially this place, which has been untouched by war for as long as any family can remember. There are usually laundry lines that hang across houses, or particularized fashionings to distinguish one family house from another, but they're almost identical, like somebody stamped them into the ground, as is the building directly in front of you. You're standing now before its porch. There's a signpost hanging outside of it, and from that signpost is a chunk of wood that has been carved into the skeletal shape of an arm. Robin pats somebody on the back. It's rather hard. Who's closest to Robin?
Probably Xanderhal, I would assume.
Yeah,
Xanderhal. His heavy, fat, sausage-like hand slaps you on the back, rather forcefully, actually. And he says, I'd rather not go in there. I didn't need to be out anyway. I'm just going to go home and see Mary. Good luck. And with that, he takes a step back from you, Xanderhal, and of course the rest of you, the party, curtly bows his head, and then very quickly walks away.
I turn to the rest of the party and I say, he asked us about that thing we saw in the woods, and he seemed nervous to disclose its existence to us. Do you think perhaps that he was up to something?
Definitely seems that way.
He definitely knows more than he's letting on.
Perhaps
he seemed
this
angry at that Matthew fellow. Maybe we should ask him the questions.
Perhaps this gravekeeper fella will tell us more of what we wish to know, especially
But
about
that's
that
who he
giant
wanted us
skeleton.
to see.
Do you think we should talk to somebody else?
Well, what about Matthew?
What do you think? Should we take a vote? I say we talk to this gravekeeper.
In a democracy.
Just to make sure, he just led us toward a building, right?
Correct. You're in front
And
of
he
its
He claimed
porch
to have
now.
been bringing us to the gravekeeper.
Yes.
All right. Oh, I'm walking towards the building. I'm peeping around.
Are you going towards the door?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. The door is heavy and wooden. It's actually distinct. Most of the doors that you've walked by in these domiciles, they're carved. They're nice doors. This one is actually rather severely damaged. There are huge cracks and rivets that have run down its length. It looks as though a sturdy kick could do it in by any reasonably strong person. It's not necessary, though. The door's open, or at least it's ajar. It's hanging a little bit off its hinges, open a few inches from the lock.
I'm peeping in.
It doesn't smell particularly good in there. Does the
What do you
party
see, Hen?
follow with?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow behind.
Does Hen see anything?
follow.
Or?
Well, I'm waiting.
Hen, you step in, or at least you peep in. The peeping takes place.
Well, yeah, it was ajar. Yeah.
Yeah, a peeping. The door opens slightly.
Yeah, I like lean in and poke my head around.
The inside of this place is decrepit beyond description. It's near black in there, When you opened that door, when you tilted it ajar slightly, the sunlight through overcast clouds you poured in matched the total amount of light present in there. There were but a few candles scattered about, wax dripping onto books and pages and parchments stacked in errant piles against the corners of the room, wax that has dripped down into the corners of the room, into the mortar between the stones, candles that cast a faint, paltry yellow light on the rotten interior of this place. Bare, unpolished wood splintered open, hewn, rotting furniture, and blood. Old, dried blood, black now and foul-smelling, scattered across the remnants of this thing's furniture. But all of that pales in comparison to who you see behind the desk that sits in the center of this room. It's not
And
a
who
man.
would that be?
Now, a dramatic pause. It's not a man. Not properly, at least. The candlelight barely illuminates him. At first, you think you're seeing some sort of undead monstrosity, an apparition, a ghost, a poltergeist, but you're not. It's candlelight, reflecting off wet bandages. You see the bust, shoulders, upper arms, and head of a man who is cloaked from every visible angle in bandages, soaked in blood and viscera, yellowed by pus and the crust of plasma that seeped from scabs barely healed. The bandages are contoured around the likeness of the face. You see two deep eye sockets, blackened, staring out at all of you through the doorway. And those bandages move very slightly as the figure speaks. Oh, I wasn't expecting visitors. Please come in. And do so quickly, please. The sunlight irritates me.
Then before opening the door, I will. I assume they may have heard, but I'll say in case they haven't seen. It seems like.
Wait, this is
There's no
retroactive. They've
decay.
already seen you.
Huh? Oh well, I was the only one who peeked through the door, so I assumed they couldn't come in.
No, they were
I
all
didn't open
they
the
were
door
all
all the
behind
way.
you. I specified that. You
Yeah, no,
opened
we
it
all
enough
did.
to look in so they see out.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't open the door all the way, but all right.
But you opened it enough for them to see out as well.
Okay. Then never mind.
Anyway,
Avast.
You,
Who are you?
You have a very kind voice for your demeanor.
you've known nothing of my demeanor save how I cloak myself. Please, in. There's room enough.
Who are you?
Do you all make your way into this place?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're.
Yeah, I would like to stay as close to the door as possible, though.
Reasonable. Do you close it, though, to prevent the light from coming in further?
I'll leave it slightly cracked.
Gotcha. The slightly cracked door lets light in, but not enough to cast upon this person's figure. As soon as the door is closed enough that the light no longer breaches their, well, not skin, bandages, they say, I apologize for the oddities here. You see him turn slightly to address all of you in kind, and as you do so, as his neck turns, you see loose bandages that separate the neck from the shoulder blade part, and you see a flash of skin, blighted, black and yellow, red boils protruding between the cracks in the bandages. He continues, I apologize for the unfamiliarity. You must be the attendees to that posting that was put in Unveil Town Square. Is that correct? I can't imagine another reason why people would arrive here.
Yes, that is fine.
Aye. We came because we believed your town needed help.
You couldn't possibly be more correct. It needs more help now than it did then. I apologize. I would offer you a place to sit, but I understand why you wouldn't wish to. The place smells like a chicken coop. If that chicken coop had been recently, or not so recently perhaps, 2 weeks ago, raided by foxes.
Cute.
He continues, I suppose I should introduce myself. My name is Robert. I was once a wandering cleric. I arrived in this place perhaps a decade ago. I trained underneath a minister here before assuming duties as the town's gravekeeper. My minister is dead now. It's just me and a few others. There are about 234 people left as of today. And I tend to my responsibilities, even though he looks down at himself. I suspect I might be leading myself to the grave as well. I will answer now what I think is necessary before we begin. We've been afflicted with a terrible plague. A few months back, 3 months ago, the church collapsed, and the day after, men and women fell ill, myself included. Most of those afflicted early are already dead. I've persisted for now, and it's peculiar. No method of addressing it has succeeded, not to this point. We've had everything. We've even had imperial ministers and inquisitors, paladins come from the capital, heroes of the land, try to cure this place, and fail. It doesn't respond, as plagues often do. Our illness is spiritual. It seems an affliction from God. But we were left here. This town is quarantined now. The trade routes are blocked. You came here of your own volition. We've discovered one thing and one thing only of this plague. Something when the Empire sent its ministers here. The plague does not transfer to those who are not lived in this town. It will not afflict any of you. Only us. It's just us. Just this town. And everyone in it. I've been
Wouldn't
trying...
that include us?
I'm sorry?
Wouldn't that include us being in
No,
the
just
town?
people who live in it.
Your soul isn't ill as ours is. There's something wrong. I know not. My spiritual state has fallen since the church crumbled. I have not kept with my prayer, but I do know this. There's something we've done to bring this to ourselves. We brought this upon ourselves, and we don't know what to do. We've done everything. We've buried ritually. We've prayed to every god. We've asked for the help of minister and cleric and priest and paladin and bishop. But it's been for nothing. And when we first sent that posting, we thought maybe there was some foreign incursion, but we've scoured the woods. There's nothing, and our best hunters are dead now. It doesn't matter. He steels himself for a moment and then looks up to the five of you, and he says, you can't see his eyes, you can't see anything of his face, but his tone wavers with the utmost of sincerity. I don't know what's wrong with this town, but I and every soul here will give everything we have to see this place saved, to see our families saved. And if you can do this for us, we will bestow upon you every generosity this place has to offer. There is wealth in the mines. There are wealth in the coffers. We can find a way to privilege you for your services. We need you. Please. You've seen this. You've seen me now. And he steps up from the chair that he's been sitting on behind the desk, and you see him now, dimmed in the candlelight, silhouetted just barely. His whole body is wrapped in bandages. Blood blisters have protruded out from the seams in them at some points. His left hand has been bandaged with the rest of his torso. It just hangs down, or is strapped now, to the side of his body like a straitjacket. Only his right arm is usable, and most of it is unbandaged. There are black and gray rivulets running along it. It looks like a corpse's arm, but he clenches his fist with resolution. This is what befalls the town, if things continue as they are. Will you help us?
I turn to the party and I say, what do you think?
We came here for a reason, didn't we?
We did.
It would be
I'm
a shame
inclined to go
come out.
along. I think we need a little bit more information.
It would be a shame to have come all the way out here and experienced what we've experienced and decide not to help these people after all. What do you think, Kazooie? What would you like to know?
I'm going to turn to Robert. Robert, I assume you're wrapped in bandages because of this affliction, yes?
Yes.
Whenabouts did this start happening to you?
About 3 months ago. I was one of the first afflicted, but there are new afflicted every day. We have deaths every day, without exception.
How long does it take for someone to die?
There doesn't seem to be a consistency. I've seen
I nod.
lumberjacks, strong women and men, large, muscular, healthy, full of vitamins and minerals, and they've been afflicted, 3 days before death? And I was scarcely a man before my affliction, and I have persisted longer than any other. Almost as though there's some purpose I've been kept here for, maybe to bring all of you here to pace.
Well, what is your responsibility here?
I keep the dead away from the living.
Robert, you said it took about 3 months for you to get to this state. Did this all happen at once? How were the symptoms? How did they come about on you?
My hair fell first. My hair, whatever was left of it. I know you can't tell. I'm 52. And after that, muscular atrophy. I had trouble walking. Black spots appeared across my extremities, and one day, while using the toiletries, I looked down at my thighs, and I noticed I could see bone. The skin had grayed through. It was translucent, like no blood ran through it, but still I could move. After that, the blood boils. The organ failures. Pus began to run down my skin. I was unsightly. I began to clothe myself. And after...
It sounds like we should solve this problem.
I'm inclined to agree. Are you in terrible pain right now? How are you still alive after having all that happen to you?
Morphine.
Oh.
I want to ask you a question. Is that okay with you?
If it helps in this town. If it helps in any way.
There was a man at the entrance to this town who asked us a strange question about a large, four-legged skeleton that walks like a wolf. Do you know anything about this?
Why did he ask you that?
He knew he came through the woods, and I suppose this wolf skeleton lives in these woods.
Have you seen it?
I look to
Have
my
you?
party mates. Wait, no, I got an idea.
You seem
Should we
familiar with this creature that he's describing.
Uh,
Do you have any more information?
he, having already taken a step up, grabs one of the candles that's dripping down onto the desk, and grasps it with his hand. You see, as he grasps it, the first time he properly uses his one exposed hand for something, now illuminated closely by that candlelight, the white of bone beneath thin skin. There's not even any red, it's just gray. He grabs the candle and whirls it around to illuminate the back wall of the room. It's wood paneling. The wallpaper has been scraped off. And there's something that's been painted on that wall. Not in paint, either. It's thick and coagulated, almost as though someone had mixed powdered bone dust with water. It's a skeletal creature. Bipedal, walking on 2 back legs, long arms with clawed fingers, and a wolf's head. It's about 7 feet tall. Not quite life-sized, but close. He turns to the back of you. Did it look something like this?
Aye, we saw it out there in the
God.
woods.
You've seen it. Our protector.
Protector?
Protector.
I see it in my dreams. Every night I sleep, I see it. A beautiful, like a stage manager, or an opera singer, or some kind of musician. Something. It protects us. It keeps us together. I know not what purpose it serves or how it speaks to us. It speaks to me in dreams, but I can't make out its words. It opens its mouth, but I hear naught but ashy dust pour from the mouth of this thing. You've seen it in person. This is prophecy, my friends. This is prophecy. You've been blessed greatly. I beseech you, please, now, you're involved. Now, you've been chosen. I would like very much to speak to it if I could. Someday.
Not to shatter your perceptions, but when we ran across it, it had just gotten done slaughtering some people who had left your town.
Then
Is that good?
there are no shortage of sinners and ne'er-do-wells in our town. I'm certain it has a reason for doing what it's done. I feel it in my heart, in my spirit. What's left of it, I know there is nothing in it but beneficence and kindness. It would not do anything without reason.
May I ask you, has a young dwarf woman gone missing from your town in the last few weeks?
Missing from the town. Young dwarf woman. We've a few. Did you see one?
Aye. She was the one being slaughtered by that thing.
What did she look like?
After her compatriots had been.
What did she look like?
If I remember correctly, she had pigtails and she was short and
Absolutely breathtaking.
and she had a group of other travelers with her. We don't remember much from them. They weren't recognizable through all the blood.
Was she of middling age? Long braids down, long hair?
Yes.
Yes. Samantha, was it?
Aye.
It fits well within my theory. Samantha was rather, as my age would be for a human. Hers was for a dwarf, middled, and she had taken on many lovers but never married. It fits. She died for a reason.
I looked to the party incredulously.
I think our objective is obvious here. We need to get more morphine.
I agree.
I believe
Hen nods a little too enthusiastically.
What was that, Exilia?
Robert, I am curious. What can you tell us about the man who led us here?
Who?
Robin, I believe his name was.
Oh,
Got a
Robin.
long beard. He's also got some sort of affliction.
Yes. Robin was, well, actually, I suppose I should explain things to you properly. He opens one of his desk drawers and procures from it a parchment, old, worn, almost scabbed over with blood, but you don't have to touch it. He slams it down on the desk. This, he says, with an almost dramatic flourish, is Mordhill. And I will now make it visible to you as well. In roll 20. We, have had some trouble over, the past few weeks. There are people who have been uninterested in allowing me to do my duties. I am very infirm. I cannot retrieve corpses that are not given to me. And one boy, Matthew, has... His mother died 3 days ago, and she's still locked up in there. The dead cannot be allowed to coexist with the living. They need to be separated. He and his 2 brothers have locked their place up tight. We've done everything we can to bust that door open. They cannot continue holding that woman's corpse.
May I ask why?
We can't. Sin brought this plague upon our village. We can't allow the dead go unburied. There are proper rites, funeral ceremonies that have to be attended to. His mother was an honorable woman, noble, decent, could have been regency in another life, maybe, of fair character and high virtue. She deserves, she can't move on. And the last thing this village needs is the torment of angry spirits.
Were you burying your dead before this curse befell your town?
Yes, there was a
I would assume
graveyard.
the gravekeeper's kind of in charge of that.
Well, maybe you should try doing the opposite then. Maybe Matthew has the right idea.
And let plague-ridden corpses pile in the houses of the living?
Well, the living are plague-ridden, no?
Perhaps if
And
being
alive?
Perhaps if being buried is not what the gods seek for your town, maybe burning would be the appropriate alternative.
We can burn. There are many acceptable rites. I have documents on a great many funeral customs appropriate for members of all races and faiths. We can do something appropriate, but I am absolutely certain that corpse carrying is not how this town will amend its fallen virtues.
I say we help this man out, and we find this woman's body, and we get it out of that house.
Pardon, really quickly. Bob, are the burials public?
The burials? Oh, they used to be, but people don't leave their houses very often anymore. They were always conducted publicly, but now no one shows. Everyone's too sick, so I just do it anyway.
When would you say that they stop being attended?
It's the attendance has petered off. You know, the first few deaths are a tragedy, everyone shows. And after that, as more and more people die, people stop coming to mourn the dead and stay at home and instead contemplate whether they will be the next ones.
Real quick, Vaush, can you give us a "you are here" on the map?
Yes, absolutely. So, let me, can I do this?
I'm going to Google Maps pin.
Yeah, let's Google Maps pin. So I'm going to ping in Roll20, but show in the streamed campaign. So in the top right, that ruined building over there is the cathedral that you first encountered as you walked through. And the building that you are currently in is the orange-tinted building, the smaller one, which is slightly below and to the left of that ruined cathedral, right over there.
See.
Okay.
So we're still very close to the town's entrance, or where we came in.
Yes, yes.
We're just like right across the street.
Oh yeah, which was the house that Matthew was, or that Robin was banging on?
It was the very first house that you encountered here, directly adjacent to the cathedral, and the uppermost portion. So right to the left of the cathedral.
I turn to the party and I say, do you think we should do what this man asks and help him perform the proper rites on this corpse?
I think at the very least that we should talk to Matthew.
Yeah. We don't have any other option but to ask Matthew why he's doing what he's doing, no?
I agree. Perhaps we should pay him a visit.
You'll do it then.
We'll see
Excuse
what
me,
Matthew has to say.
What kind of what could we get out of this? You said you would bestow what exactly upon us if we were to be successful with this task?
With this task specifically? No, I have nothing personally. We would need to requisition from the mines, but nobody's gone in there for quite some time. That's where most of our wealth is carried.
And if we're able to somehow, through some sheer force of will, fix this situation, then what?
Kazooie, are you asking for a guarantee?
Just curious.
The situation in the town or in the mines?
Yes.
If you were to fix the situation in the town, then you're free to access whatever you like from the mines and take whatever it is you please. Though I would hope, befitting the town's character, your interest in the mines and in this town is befitted more upon a willingness to save those who have strayed from the path of goodness than it is to afford yourself monetary rewards. I hardly think that's fitting of heroes who have been tasked with upholding moral character.
Just curious, what is it that you mine here?
I never thought to ask.
Well, that's
Perhaps-
all right.
Perhaps after we've taken care of this body, or at least talked to Matthew, we investigate these mines and find out what was being mined in this town.
Yes, yes.
Are you sure we shouldn't go to Matthew first?
Oh,
No,
definitely.
I said we go to Matthew first and
That would be
find
part of
out.
the,
Yeah.
the way.
I've nothing to help you with your task save the knowledge that Matthew was a good young man, and that his decision to cling to the dead, while irresponsible, is nonetheless a product of love, and that you treat him with respect befitting that character.
Don't worry, lad. We'll be quite gentle with him.
With that,
Before we go,
yes?
I will say to what's the name of the one we're talking to? Sorry,
Robert.
bad memory.
Robert.
Robert. Okay, Robert and Robin are close. My boy.
Roberto.
So I will look at Robert and I will say, before we leave, is there a chance I could inspect you? Your hand, maybe.
Yeah.
And do you think that's a wise idea with the plague spreading?
Are you a doctor?
I shrug, and I reach out for his hand.
He recoils. I
Yes,
appreciate
you
your
could say so.
I appreciate your sentiment, but I've the good graces to know my time will come when it's come. I've made it this far. The whims of a doctor are not going to carry me any further than my own spirit has.
I do think that additional
I
information
just
about the infection
want-
could probably be nice.
Yes, I want to see what this is if I can figure it out.
You may inspect the mother's corpse. I imagine her body is in a state comparable to my own.
I kind of narrow my eyes and take my hand back.
With that,
And me.
he retrieves the map and places it back in the cupboard and says to the five of you, if you're to bring her body, I will need to begin assembling the materials for the rites. Please bring her back quickly. It's already been entirely too long. The dead should be buried before the sundown on the day they died. We've already strayed from that. Best to get this done as quickly as possible. You know where Matthew's house is?
Aye, we do.
Please. I'm growing weary of conversation.
That's fine. I'll begin walking out.
I turn to I follow Hen out and I whisper to her, perhaps this affliction is healable with your abilities.
I can't figure it out if he won't let me touch him.
Do you think that inspecting this body will allow you to figure it out better?
Well, she's supposed to be dead.
Perhaps, but I... perhaps, but it seems Robert is a special case, and I'm curious.
Are you walking
Matthews.
towards Matthew's place as you speak?
Yes.
May as well.
Okay. As you, just to clarify, as you open up the door again, he shies away from the light as it pours in, and he gets back to work. I mean, there's obviously stuff to be done. As you close the door, you step back outside. It smells marginally better out here. There's the faint smell of burning, though there's no smoke nor no fire. Just a faint acridity, a soot in the air, like the remnants of a battlefield left unattended weeks afterwards. The sky is overcast, and the stones beneath your feet almost seem to be rusting with how badly they need cleaning. As you make your way down the road and contemplate the utter absence of foot traffic elsewise, you now find yourself before Matthew's house, at the same porch where you found Robin, shouting. There is nobody around you, and all is silent. What do you do?
I step forward and I knock politely on the door.
Fuck off, Robin!
Hey, I'm not Robin.
Fuck off!
We're here to help. I turn to the party and I say, well, he's already been rude. I say we kick the door down.
No.
Hold on.
No,
I don't know
no.
if that's a good idea.
Josh, are there any windows that we can see?
Forward toward the door.
Wait, good question.
Are there any
Kazooie,
windows around the building that we could see?
roll investigation.
1 sec, boy.
Wait, he has to investigate whether you can see a fucking window?
What if there are
Well,
secret
it looks
windows?
like there's no windows.
Actually, there are windows running along the lower floor of the house. However, they have been. It's actually rather peculiar. You know how you can board up windows?
Mm-hmm.
It looks almost as though the stone from the frame has encroached in on the position of the windows, like the stone liquidified and dripped down to make them inaccessible. What remains of the entrance has been boarded up with wood.
I will walk towards the door to try my hand.
What do you do with your hand?
Oh, no. I mean, try my hand at trying to convince him to open it. I walk forward and I knock softly on the door.
Robin!
And I say, no, this is not Robin. I am a doctor and a cleric, and we would just like...
The fuck are you? Speak up!
We would just like to talk to you.
Well, then talk!
Well,
Matthew, would you please open the door?
The fuck are you? How many people are out there?
There'd
This
be
is a
5 of us.
town.
Wait, what's the name? Who? What are names?
Why?
My name is Xanderhal.
Why
Who
would
the
you give a
fuck are you?
count?
What?
God damn it.
You're not from here.
no, we are not.
We're from far away, but we're here to help you.
You
We've been here a while. You've just never left the house, Matthew.
fucking Robert sent you, didn't he?
Who?
The bandage man.
We know nobody with that name or that description.
Then what the fuck are you doing?
We just came here to talk.
I kind of shoot Xander a look like, you shouldn't be fucking lying to this
We
kid.
heard
I shoot
somebody
her back a look,
bashing.
saying this guy is clearly not stable, and if he knows who sent us, there's no way he's gonna open this door, and we're gonna have to knock it down. So maybe
Why?
we can convince him through lying.
Xander's
I'm glad our eyes can
literally.
communicate
Hold on.
that.
We
Why you were
heard,
speaking?
We heard somebody banging on your door and yelling, and we just wanted to make sure that everything is okay, Matthew.
Yeah, that guy's a fucking asshole. He wanted to encroach on our property and he didn't have a warrant.
Is he a cop?
Well, no, all the town guards are dead now. It's mostly just who's ever's biggest.
Oh. What crime have you committed, Matthew?
Well, I haven't committed any crime. It's not a crime to love your Mom.
Well, why not let us meet your mother?
She's not taking visitors right now.
Why not?
Fuck off!
Is there any way we can speak to your mother?
It's
Through the door,
actually
we don't have to see her.
It's actually silent at the other end.
I turn to Hen and I say, "You tried your best. I don't think he's going to let us in."
I speak up. Kazooie,
Yeah.
how was your skills in speaking to the dead?
Why do you ask?
Because if you're proficient at speaking to the dead, maybe somebody could recollect with their mother.
Well, I haven't done it in a while, but I could definitely try. Excuse me, is there a dead woman in there?
Nobody responds.
Looks like we're out of luck.
I yell loudly, "All right, you little shit! I tell you what,
No.
we have a cleric and a doctor here. If there's something wrong, then we can help. We're only here to help."
No response.
I turn to the party.
Xander, let's say we beat this door down. We don't actually have to do it. I'm more so of the opinion that we should maybe threaten it, see what happens.
All right.
Are we kicking down the door, or would we?
I don't think kicking down the door is such a good idea. What
I was
if
trying to threaten it.
Can I try to break the lock? Can I try to pick the lock?
Roll investigation to find out what state the door is in. Your rolls have just been top tier. All 3 of your rolls have had a critical failure in them somewhere.
Yeah, I love that. I'm getting them out of the way.
Get them out of the way now. With a 7, you can determine 2 things. One, that this is actually a rather heavy lock. This is not like a casual. This is a pretty serious lock. And 2, that the lock is actually outset from the frame of the door, meaning that the lock is really good, the door is not.
I'll look up at Xander and I'll say, this may be a job for you.
I have a better idea than taking the door down. I whisper this, by the way. I speak loudly, loud enough that I know the person inside can definitely hear me. "It seems this door is too thick for me to kick down. Perhaps I should use some of my explosives." I wait for a reaction from inside.
There's a brief pause, and then another voice from deeper in the house responds, "You're fucking bluffing! If you do any shit to our door, I'm going to gut out there and butt your fucking head off!"
Well, why don't you come out here and do it now before I do it? There's 5 of us.
The first voice, "Fuck you!"
We're gonna do it if you don't come out here.
From somewhere down the street, Robin, who is come forward to see this commotion, yells out, "I was trying this with him for like 2 hours. Good luck."
Bob and we're doing something here. We're gonna need you to leave.
All right. I'll fuck off. He turns around and walks away.
Clearly here.
He says yes and walks away.
Look, I'm not so sure that this is the tactic we should be using. I think I have an idea.
What is that, Exilia?
Here, let me try this. And I cast thaumaturgy, and I create whispers from inside the house saying, "Son, open the door."
Oh
Okay.
Uh,
That's a bold move. I'm going to need you to roll deception.
Okay.
And I'm going to roll it against
Ooh.
Matthew's wisdom.
I thought you were going to try to make the windows fly open.
Is that bad?
Well, we'll
Probably
find
as
out.
good as my attempt was.
Yes! Idiot
He's
ball!
He's a dumb redneck.
Oh,
so
there we go. Nice.
He's
Ooh.
stupid.
Yeehaw.
A deception roll of 4 beats a wisdom roll of 1. For those of you who don't know, when rolling, there are 2 numbers. The left one is default. However, sometimes in a roll, you can have advantage or disadvantage, meaning that there's some benefit or hindrance to you performing that task. If you're rolling with advantage, you take the higher of the 2 rolls. If you're rolling with disadvantage, you take the lower. If you're not rolling with either, you just take the leftmost. And in this case, the leftmost value is 1. The worst roll, actually you can get into the negatives, but 1 is really bad. From inside the
And
house,
their kids.
you hear, wait, what was the specific request? I apologize.
"Son, please open the door."
From inside the house, you hear, "What? Mama? That's a fucking trick, boy! Don't you open it, Mama!" And footsteps against rotted wood planks before like 3 locks unclink from the door, and the door gets flown open just far enough for it to hit the chain that keeps it from being open more than a foot. A young man, human, raggedy, rat-toothed, with patches of hair falling out, long, greasy hair that sweeps across the face, and a very noticeable scar across his left cheek, peeks his head out from between the door and the frame, and says, "All right, this is crazy, y'all. But I had to change your... Boy! You closed that fucking door! Shut up!
Matthew,
God!
Matthew, what would your mother want?
How do you know I'm Matthew?
Well, you responded to me saying Matthew before, no?
Oh, yeah. All right. What do you all need exactly?
We wanted to see your mother.
Oh, what? My mom is dead.
Oh, are you a doctor, Matthew?
Boy! I mean, I don't think you really need to be a doctor to know when a person's dead,
Well, you
right?
aren't a doctor, Matthew, and we do have a doctor. Your mother would want this.
You sure Robert didn't send you?
Who the fuck is Robert?
Robert was the jerk who was yelling at you before, right?
No, that was Robin.
Oh,
We don't know who a Robert is. Who is this Robert you keep speaking of, Matthew?
Oh, can we see the kid, by the way? Like,
you
we
can see the kid's
him?
face, yeah.
Yeah, what does he look like? Did you explain? Did I miss it?
described for like 30 seconds his appearance.
Okay. Then I guess I blanked out. What does he look like?
He's hot.
He's not hot. Young, scraggly, long black hair, greasy, scar across the face.
Okay.
He looks
A
like shit.
human.
He is a human man, yes.
Okay.
Maybe mid-20s.
hot.
Wait, the kid?
Yes, Matthew.
Oh, okay.
Be a
Matthew.
mama's boy.
Oh no, I just thought I assumed younger. All right.
To what you said, why he slams the door shut, and then you hear the clanking of a final lock before he opens up the door properly without the chain blocking it, and he says, as long as you ain't here on account of Robert. And he turns around to open up the door fully to let all of you into the house. And with the door opened fully, you can now see the interior where two other men, large, muscular, holding weapons, pointing them at you, stand. The interior of the house is poorly kept, but it's nowhere near the state that Robert's little flat was. This place is at least livable. At least it would be, were it not for the smell. You all have seen death. You're level 3. You know what a corpse rotting smells like. In warm, humid weather, the juices, the ichor seeping down into the rotted floorboards, soaking into wood that will need to be burned to ever smell acceptable again. We all know that smell. It's somewhere in the back. One of the men at the back says, I don't know. The fuck them whispers was. Who the fuck are you? What are you doing?
We have a doctor.
We are here to help.
No, none of that shit. Helping is getting the fuck out of here. But you're in now. Matthew. What do you want?
Can we see your mother?
I want to see the corpse.
All right, that's a good one. You know what I want to see? Your ass is the fuck out of here. I'm counting to 3.
Wait.
What weapons do they have? What happens? Wait, what
Wait,
weapons do they have?
Matthew.
Wait. First in response, Kazooie. The two men. One of them has a kitchen knife, and one of them has a short sword.
Oh yeah, I can
think
fucking
we could
drop
take
these
this
guys. I interrupt the man's counting and I yell, "Save your breath. We ain't leaving."
Things begin to happen very quickly. Everyone,
Uh-oh.
it's time to fucking roll initiative.
I'm so excited.
Let's get started. Okay, how do
Wait,
I?
don't do it yet. Just by the way.
Yeah, don't do it yet.
Oh.
I'll show all of you how to do it. So first, I hit this, and then I hit this.
I'm gonna have to kill this fucking kid. I swear to God.
Not the kid,
Okay.
just the dudes.
You have to wait until the
Matthew's
character
chill.
tokens are up, White.
Okay.
My bad.
All right. Everyone looking?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
These tokens.
There. Now this is being streamed live. Okay? This is where the door's entrance is. This one right here, that's Matthew, the one directly in front of the door. I'm going to need initiative, but in order for us to roll initiative, your character tokens have to be present. So I'm going to do that.
True.
All right? So I'm going to set down everyone's character tokens. There's Exilia. There's Hwai. There's Kazooie
Oh, you didn't replace Wise.
at her request.
I spent good money on mine too.
Okay.
You just sent me the nude model. I didn't know how it looked.
I think it's probably.
Oh no, I have the tokens set up in the Discord.
I think it's probably reasonable to assume that Pick Puncher is the one in front. That just seems character
Yeah.
relevant to me. This is a cramped house, as I'm sure all of you can tell. Now, what all of you need to do is click on your own character token so it's selected, and then go into your character sheet and hit the initiative roll button. It's up there. And that will record everyone's initiative turn order right here.
Oof.
Got the big 20.
Damn, 0.
Damn.
Wait, are our tokens where they're supposed to be in relation to everybody else?
We can rearrange them as soon as initiative is determined. Plus, you're all going to move. Like, you could clear the entire length of this house in a few seconds.
Oh boy, wait, you got kind of screwed there, didn't you?
Okay, hold on. Now, for some reason, none of that showed up on the turn order thing that I have, so I'm going to manually input everyone's shit.
Oh, it
Wow.
showed up on mine.
Yeah, I thought they did. For
I
a
had
minute.
it for a second, yeah, and then it.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'll just do it manually.
Maybe
really
we should
quickly.
re-roll.
No.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Y's original roll was 11, so I don't know if you're gonna.
No, we're
but
going
yeah.
with the 0. That's good.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
It means I have time to assess the situation.
Exactly.
Okay?
Think of all of the
Yeah.
tactics you get to use.
Exactly. I'm right next to the door. Perfect.
Okay, let me input everyone's shit.
Okay,
Now
so like, is there any time to like try to talk to Matthew before this?
So
It's
in
the
combat, talking is always counted as a free action, meaning that you can do it without without it needing to correspond to the existing turn order. However, I like to play it. Talking is frenetic during combat for very obvious reasons, so
Right.
it will be played with that in mind. Okay, there we go. I've got everything.
Don't do it, Matthew. Don't do it.
Now let me roll the other initiative because there are multiple. Oh, that's a damn.
Oh.
Kazooie, what is your
That's good.
dexterity?
17.
Okay. Yours is a 17. This one's so you would go first. Both you and one of the villagers, the one in the back, the loudest one, rolled a 20. So I'm going to now sort descending order, and with that, it begins. So really, really, really quickly, use GM rolls so the players don't see them. Oh no, EV Eternal. I'm okay with everyone knowing the turn order properly, so everyone can strategize. So the way combat works in Dungeons and Dragons, for those of you who do not know, is that everyone rolls initiative. Initiative is you roll a d20 and you add your dexterity bonus, so faster characters get an advantage, and then people play out their turns in accordance with their rolls from highest to lowest. Now, there is like a ton of nuance. People can like save their turns, people can hold on to rolls, people can deliberately go later, and the nuances of what you do in combat it gets complicated. However, with that being said, the base is pretty simple. And we're going to start off very simply with Kazooie, who goes first. Hit us up.
All right, so you said that we might move things around once initiative was decided. So Matthew is indeed like right in the middle of all of us, right?
Yes. Presently.
Okay. Okay, which is the one with the kitchen knife?
The one with the kitchen knife is the one right here. The one with the short sword is the one right here.
Don't do it, Matthew.
Can we see the mother in the room or no?
No, the mother is not presently visible.
Okay. I would like to move here.
A good meme.
I'm trying to think. Okay, real quick question. If I am able to use some sort of projectile, let's say, and I was to throw it from here, is there a chance that I would hit Xander? Or
No. I think it's reasonable to assume sometimes you can have partial or even total cover, which would affect the roll that you're using. But in this instance, it's pretty reasonable that you would like turn slightly or like lean over. I don't think that would incur a disadvantage.
All right, Exalia, can we switch spots so I can hit Xander then? I'm just kidding. All right, let's see. So what I will do then, I'm going to stay planted where I'm at, right? Then I'm going to do, one sec. Gotta find this. Oh shit, I'm so sorry, everybody.
No worries.
Okay, so what I will do, since I am a monk of the Way of the Soul Knife, as per my Soul Knives meme, which you can see in chat in a moment, I can use a bonus action to increase my unarmed strike range by 30 feet, which is quite literally all the way to this short sword boy. So I'm going to use the bonus action and do that.
Starting when you choose this tradition at 3rd level, you can use your psionic energy to manifest blades that disrupt your foe's mind. Your unarmed strikes deal your choice of psychic, piercing, slashing, or bludgeoning damage each time you hit. In addition, you can use a bonus action to increase the reach of your unarmed strikes by 30 feet until the end of your turn. Disgusting.
Boy.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts.
Boy.
Psychic punching someone from across the room.
So I'm going to do that. So I've already used the bonus action. I'm going to do that. So then I would have to roll an unarmed strike, right?
Yes, you would roll an unarmed strike.
All right. And how exactly do I do that? I'm sorry.
If you have that attack in your character sheet, you would simply click on it.
I don't.
Fascinating.
But
you should do that in the future. However, an unarmed strike here, I can look it up.
It should be 1d4.
You can pull it
right?
over right now. It's in the list if you want to just pull it into your sheet.
Roll 20.
What's his unarmed strike?
Monk. Your unarmed strike, yes, would be 1d4, and you would add either your strength bonus or your dexterity bonus to that, whichever one is higher.
Someone in chat is saying it's 1d6 plus dex for monks.
It's not 1d6, not at 3rd level.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so it's going to be 1d4 plus 3 then. I would have to roll.
Fuck it up.
And I would like to declare that I'll use... I'm going to try to hit him with the... Let's see. Psychic damage.
All right.
So it's slash roll 1d4 plus 3 then?
Yes.
Aight.
Well, first you would roll a d20 to hit.
Oh.
1d20 plus your proficiency bonus, which is 2, plus your plus 3 for your dexterity bonus.
So 1d20 plus 5? Or do they have to be separated?
It would be 1d20 plus 5, yes.
Okay. Sorry.
That's a 20. That'll fucking hit. Yeah.
Nice. All right, so it's if we use the previous roll, then it's 4 psychic damage.
Yes, that'd be 4 psychic damage.
Okay, and I would like to aim for his little head there.
Nice. He does have a little head. He looks like a little cartoon man with big shoulders and a little head on top.
It's like Hassan Piker.
You true squad W. You do fucking ninjutsu in the air, and this dude just gets a wallop of a fucking headache. In fact, he gets a headache so badly that it brings him noticeably closer to death. Fucking punch his brain.
Holy shit.
Nice. You
All right,
fucking.
and then that's my turn.
You deck him. Nice. Good shit. So the person who you just punched, it's now their turn, and they're going to do what is typically referred to as a pro gamer move. He's holding a short sword in his left hand. He, rather than immediately moving over to fucking stab you, he takes a step over towards what seems to be a pile of wood, like lumber for burning, directly next to him, and he procures something from it. It's weird. It looks like a pipe or like a scabbard for a sword, like a really sick scabbard. Can I get a intelligence roll, just a flat intelligence roll from everyone in the party, to see if they recognize what's coming? That's a nope.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a save. I'm sorry. That's a save.
We got a mix of intelligence saves and int rolls. You don't need to roll again.
Whoopsie.
I can just do the math in my head. And you, Hen?
Whoops.
Sorry, just straight
You
in.
just,
Just
you
an
wanna make me look
intelligence roll.
stupid.
Nice.
Bad.
So Kazooie, I've got some great news.
Was good.
You're a bright lad. Actually, your int is 9, so you're not. But in this instance, you're being done well
I'm a
here.
dumb bird.
You have a pirate background, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're well traveled, and the thing that is procured from that wood pile is a little bit strange, but you actually have some familiarity with what you're looking at, and you're able to identify it right before it's used. It's a gun. He pulls
Watch out,
a
guys.
rifle
I got a gun.
from the wood stack and aims it at you.
What the fuck is a gun?
And aims it at you.
Would I
That's
know
a-
what a gun is?
that's a
No, I'm assuming with my 3.
You would not know. What is does a 12 hit you?
My AC's 14.
Ooh. He pulls out a rifle and he aims it at you and pulls the trigger, and a fucking thunderclap goes off in this room. The bullet nearly skirts by the ear of the brother in front of him, and a giant fucking hole appears in the wood of the wall behind you. And then
What kind of... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And this is the really cool part, because you've probably seen flintlock weapons before. So flintlock guns are you literally they are quite literally it's flint. You load gunpowder and then put the shot in, and then you pull the and it strikes flint against steel, and it produces sparks, which allows the gunpowder to ignite. So that pro gamer move that I talked about, he does something you've never actually seen before done with a firearm. He pulls the lever back and fires it a second time.
Cool.
Nice to meet you.
Cool.
Misses again.
And misses again, admittedly. 2 gunshots directly next to your head. This is a completely unknowable weapon. 2 giant holes in the wall directly behind you. He misses both
Hey,
shots,
Xanderhal.
though, perhaps due to
Xanderhal, I think
unfamiliarity
we
with
should
that
go
weapon.
for that guy first.
These are advanced rednecks.
I agree.
Xanderhal, you're up next.
This is redneck level 2.
Okay. Can I run over and is he too far, or do you think I can just kind of?
Oh no,
Like,
100%. This is like a small. This is like just a house. You could easily clear the distance to get over there.
Okay, yeah. I at first I was thinking maybe I'd be like non-lethal, but he just tried to shoot at us, so he's gonna fucking die. I attempt to hit him with my short sword.
Move your character token over, but before moving
to
your
break the
character
rifle.
token over, Matthew grabs you by your sleeve. Wait, please don't
Fucking
get.
fuck.
Please, it's my brother.
He's
You're
got
quick.
Fair enough.
Heat of combat.
Okay.
Quick,
All right.
quick response.
Okay, I shake him off and I walk forward towards where the man with the gun is. I
Gotcha.
move my token.
Sander, this might not be the best idea, but
It'll be fine.
Okay, how do I use unarmed? Can I like punch him?
Yeah, you can punch him. If your goal is to do non-lethal damage, you can declare non-lethal with any weapon you use.
Okay, non-lethal, and I
Yeah, don't hold
attempt to
back.
use- All right, non-lethal, but I use my short sword here.
Go for it.
All right,
Okay,
so-
that is a 12 to hit, which just barely does it, and 5 piercing damage. You run him through the fucking gut. It really, really looks like it hurts. He's quite a large man, rather rotund, so you don't manage to fully penetrate him with the weapon. But you know, there was probably an organ or two that you got through there.
Okay, yeah. I mean, he can be helped.
Listen, it was a non-lethal gut stab, okay?
Yeah, it'll put him down for a minute.
Just a kidney or something.
yeah,
Exactly.
we can get another one of those. We have 2, right? That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, like, I should probably mention to the chat right now. This is my first actual D&D campaign, by the way. So is that basically is that it, or do I get to roll again? Because I just sworn
You
I rolled
you
twice.
use dual
Swashbuckler,
wielding,
right?
do you not? You can go again.
Yeah, okay. Fuck it, I'll roll again.
I
Roll
should note,
again.
by the way, in line with the grim darkedness, there are chances for non-lethal damage to fail.
Okay, so I could accidentally kill him.
There is always the risk with any weapon that you use.
Yeah, like
I'll
if you
roll
got a
that
nat
as well.
20, you'll probably fucking kill him, you know?
Okay, well, I rolled again, and I did 1 piercing damage, it seems.
Nice. Okay, that really was 1 piercing damage, wasn't it? This was for a short sword, correct?
Yes.
Gotcha. And this is your offhand roll, which is why you didn't add your damage modifier to it.
Mhm.
Cool. All right, just making sure everything's kosher. You run him through. This is a 1 damage, so instead of really like getting him through the gut, it's more kind of like you scrape him. You give him like you. And like somewhere in that process, like you give him tetanus. Exactly, you inflict tetanus on him. Whole status effect. There will be a story arc with it later. If he survives this, he'll be recovering for ages. Xillia, you're up.
All right. I think I want to move towards the person in the middle of the room.
Yes, that's the one with the dagger. His turn has not come yet.
Like so. And I am going to take my quarterstaff with both of my hands. I'm gonna 2-hand my quarterstaff, and I'm gonna go ahead and just whack him with it.
Okay, fucking do it. That is a 5. I'm afraid that does not hit. Now, normally, that would be... so, to clarify the rules that we're using here. So, flanking means that if 2 people are coming at a target from both sides, then that target, you get advantage in rolls against that, you know? However, Pig Puncher's character, Xanderhal, is attacking this target over here. So his back is turned to this person, the person who Elixia is attacking. So the flanking bonus would not apply there. And I'm sure I'll apply those rules very consistently over the course of the campaign with no deviation whatsoever. But yeah, I'm afraid you miss. How do you miss? Describe it to me. Give me that flavor.
I took both of them and I went straight for the head. I wanted to knock him out, but he moved out of the way, and so I ended up just almost tripping over myself as I missed his head.
Yeah, he like takes one step like to the side to avoid getting fucking sideswept by Xanderhal, and the quarterstaff just hits the ground really fucking hard, and your hands are like clattering from the vibration, because instead of colliding with soft flesh, you hit hard wood. Good ass meme, I have to say.
Damn it! You could use magic. You decided to try to fucking whack him with a stick.
I don't want to kill him.
With that, it is now Hen's turn. Hit it up.
You get non-lethal magic damage.
Fucking dude shot a gun.
Yeah, where's the gun?
Typical liberals.
The rifle is still in the hands of the far back brother right here.
Wait, you know
He's the one. He got stabbed through the guts, right?
Yes.
I want to take the gun.
You'll have to get close to him for that.
Yeah. So move.
Why are we all going? Never mind.
Are we gonna?
We're trying to like hug the guy with the gun.
You can go around, can't you?
Nice. There we go.
Why? If you could keep an eye on Matthew.
Talk with your token movements.
It's just hard to talk about. But yeah, I want to try to take the gun. I will hold out my shield very in front of my face and body and try to grab the gun.
Gotcha. Okay, this is going to be a strength contest. I am going to... Normally, the person holding the weapon would have advantage because they're holding the fucking weapon. It's not easy to disarm a person. However, he just got fucking run through. So I'm going to make this a straight contest. Let's go.
Yeah, this can also be a tackle or something, so...
Roll strength. Let's see it from you first.
Oh boy.
You've been getting all those nat ones out of the way. This is it.
And not a save, right?
No, this is just a strength roll. All right, that's a solid roll. That's 14. 17.
Yeah.
You run up to grab the carbine from this guy's hands, and your hands both wrap around the the barrel of this thing, and he struggles against you. And I'm gonna roll real quick. And in your contest to seize the weapon from one another, you actually snap it. The wooden frame of this weapon is not particularly stable. It's rotted through. And as he pulls it back from you, he pulls it back in two pieces. The metal of the trigger guard and stock bends around his own hand as he yanks it back from you and stumbles back a few feet, holding now the remnants of his weapon.
Do I have a part of it?
No, he has both parts of it, but it's useless for firing.
Okay.
Man, libs really do want to take people's guns, huh?
Damn. All right. The weapon has
Give me
been...
a sec to see something.
Yeah, the weapon has been destroyed. With that, it is now the turn of the other two brothers, who are grouped into separate initiative turn orders because they have different weapons. I will show you those weapons. Lixia, I apologize. The guy that you just attempted to hit,
Yeah.
he's packing.
Oh shit.
He sidesteps your quarterstaff strike and pivots around on the back of his heel, pulling back a cloak to reveal that he has an enormous firearm, a pistol. Not that you know what the fuck that is. Packed into the waistband of his trousers. He pulls it out and he attempts to fucking blat you.
He was hiding the gat.
Indeed,
Oh,
the
shit.
blat, because this pistol has two barrels. That is a 4 to hit. He misses. Another hole in the back wall. These people are ludicrously incompetent with their weapons.
Seems like it.
Does an 11 hit you?
11 is my armor class. I'm not sure if that hits or not.
That would hit then, yes.
Okay.
So how do we... There we go. All right, 8 piercing damage.
Ooh.
3d6 rolls 8. He pulls out the pistol. The first shot flies wild. Kazooie, a hole opens like 2 inches from your head. The second one, though, goes right into your gut, Alexia.
Me?
Straight next to the liver, just a hole through your
by the
body.
way.
Big bullet. Big bullet.
Oof.
Yeah, big oof as well, indeed.
How dead is she? Or how close to dead is she?
How severely does 8 damage do you in?
21 is my maximum.
Okay, so you're still, you're in the mid
Beef.
tiers.
Damn.
It is now Matthew's turn.
This fucking cuck.
Matthew pulls out a pistol.
Ah.
He looks at the 5 of you, all scraping it the fuck out over here,
Matthew,
Don't do it,
Matthew, you don't
Matthew.
gotta do this.
and speaks to you, Kazooie. And why? Because you
Matthew?
two are the ones still with him. He whirls around, pointing the gun at both of you hesitantly. What the fuck happened? Everything happened so quickly.
Matthew,
You
we just
pulled
want
out
to save
the
your
gun.
mother. Quite literally, all we want to do, Matthew, is save your fucking mum, alright?
You covered
The
him in.
town, actually.
You
Bro.
ran John through. He's got a fucking sword in his gut.
That wasn't me, mate.
I don't care if it was you or it's them. I can't
Why-
keep doing this.
Why did he pull a gun? Matthew, he's killing. We have a doctor, Matthew.
You jumped in. There's no.
I wave.
I'm going to roll a wisdom saving throw on Matthew's part to determine what he does next. It's in the roll's
Oh,
hands,
no.
okay? Not me.
Oh no.
That's a 10. He looks at the two of you somberly, and then he looks back at the little melee that's going on in the rest of the room. And then, yeah, that makes. He runs. He runs past the melee and around to the other end of the room behind a wooden divider that separates the back portion of the room from the interior living section. And then, after running around that corner, oh yeah, as chat is eftly reminding, I would like to remind my players, some of whom know and some of whom do not. If, at any point during their turn, a creature moves within your melee attack range, you have the option to use your reaction to make an opportunity attack. Essentially, you make one melee attack against them with your reaction as they run by you. Matthew runs by both you, Alexia, and by you, Pig Puncher. Do either of you make the decision to use an opportunity attack? I will not remind you of this in the future.
He was diagonal from me as well. Would he not have passed through my range or not?
I guess, yeah, he would have. Yeah, both of you could incur an attack of opportunity as well.
Can I try to trip him?
That would be tough,
Ah.
but you can try.
Alright. In that case, I would like to use my reaction to just smack him, preferably in the stomach.
Like a
Just give him a
clothesline.
good old punch.
Okay, go for it.
All right, so is it just going to be the same roll as last time?
Yeah. So roll a d20 plus your plus, I think it's 5 for you.
Okay, and I would like this to be piercing damage as well.
Okay. So
I'm
this
sorry,
is
what was
just
the
a
roll?
regular punch.
Well, it's an unarmed strike.
So wait, so for your specialty, all unarmed
soul
strikes.
It says your unarmed strikes deal your choice of psychic piercing.
Okay,
slash
so
bludgeoning
every
damage.
single time.
Each time
Gotcha,
you hit.
gotcha.
Each time you hit. Yep.
Go for it.
All right, so what's the roll again? I'm sorry.
It would be /R 1d20 plus 5 to make that attack. That's a 19. Get him.
Okay, so then it's going to be. So let's roll a 1d
1d4 plus
dexterity
plus 3.
plus 3. Okay, and this is going to be piercing.
That's a piercing fucking 5 damage blow. You do your fucking Tepe Fist of the North Star fucking piercing dagger hand shit.
Non-lethal,
and,
of course.
He tried not shooting us, and you fucking claw him in the
You
fucking.
you fucking
He is complicit. He is complicit.
You fucking dart forward and you like actually penetrate his back. you like actually dart and stab through his back and feel
Not trying to kill him.
you feel your
Just-
talons you feel your
Just
talons
incapacitate him.
clink against bare shoulder bone, against your shoulder blades, and tearing your fingers through, penetrating through his back, tearing muscle, denting bone, and just generally fucking him right up. And now that I know that you have done that, I'm actually going to say that he doesn't run around, because that really fucking hurt. He's actually going to stop right here, which is when he would have exited your range of attack and therefore been hit by you, and he is going to turn around and fire.
Wait. Remind him that you weren't trying to kill him.
I don't
I don't know if that matters right now.
It was a mistake, right? We all make mistakes in this life.
Both of his shots fail.
I was just trying to pack.
He missed both of them. Fuck him.
Okay.
Both of his shots fail. His
I just
two-shot
want to
gun,
incapacitate him. Okay.
5 holes behind your head now. 5 holes, Kazooie. You
You're
have
so
a
moved.
you have a fucking block of Swiss cheese set into the wall directly behind you.
It's quite a lovely picture, really.
It is perforated. It is a colander. It is a cheese grater. There's like light pouring in through the fucking... It's like another window. Anyway, Matthew fires 2 shots at you and then drops the gun at your feet and then runs, because you can do that. You
There
can
we
move
go.
after having made your
Can I
attack.
pick up the gun? Do I have to wait until my
That'll
turn?
have to be on your turn, and it would take an action.
Yeah.
But the gun, that pistol is undamaged. Okay, that is Matthew's turn, and that is John's turn as well. White, it is now your turn.
Mispronouncing my name.
White, sorry, White.
Thank you.
Why?
White.
I'm going to do something extremely strategic and cast aid on everybody but Kazooie. Not
Pepe
because I
laugh.
dislike Kazooie, but because I can
I
only
don't really
cast on
need it
3
right now.
people, and yeah, they just keep missing you, fam. Just don't move. You're doing good.
Your spell bolsters your allies with toughness and resolve. Choose up to 3 creatures within range. Each target's hit point maximum and current HP increase by 5 for the duration. At higher levels, blah, blah, blah. We're not there yet. Nice. Everyone except Kazooie gets 5 additional current and maximum HP.
Kazooie
Oh,
ain't
yeah.
getting hit.
I'm just fucking dealing blows, dude.
All
That's what
right.
I do.
Do you intend on moving?
Oh, wait.
No.
No, it's
No.
Y's turn. Gotcha.
Okay, sorry.
Then we're back up to the beginning of the turn order. Kazooie, you're back up.
Really?
Mhm.
Interesting. Okay, so I assume how close is this gun to me?
It's within 5 feet of you.
So like which square?
It would be this square.
Okay. All right, I would like to move on top of that square then.
Gotcha. Defending.
Okay. Defend the pistol. Okay, so I've got no idea what the fuck Matthew's on about, but Okay, so Xelia is in trouble right now a bit. So here's a question. If I am to again do the same attack I did last time
Mhm.
from this position, but
Mhm.
Xelia is in the way, would I be able to get around that, or Should I be-
Seeing as how you're like psychically attacking with your fists, I'm going to say that you can pretty reasonably avoid like friendly fire in this respect. It's not like
but I'm
you're
assuming
shooting
if
an
I
arrow.
roll
with a-
badly, you'd probably be like, "Oh,
Oh, listen. If you roll a nat fail, then I'll do whatever the fuck I like. But you just it's a 1 in 20 chance. You know, what are the odds?
all right." So as a bonus action, I'm gonna do the same shit again. So it's
1
gonna
in
be,
20.
and so that's the guy in front of Xelia.
Right. Yes.
It's gonna be non-lethal psychic damage, of course.
That is going to hit
That'll
with 14.
probably hit. Sorry, one sec. There you go.
Okay, that is a hefty fucking hit. It's 6 damage. Okay, you fucking wallop this person. You fucking psychic wallop this person. They reel backwards from the not literal impact, but it certainly fucking hurts. Blood begins to pour from their ears and nose, and looking at them, you can almost hear that deafening whine of like a flash grenade going off, resonating in their own skull.
Yeah, I've played Call of Duty.
Yeah, exactly. He got flashed. His brain is melting. It really fucking sucks.
All
It's
right.
okay though because he's white.
So I've used a bonus action and my action. So I can't pick up this gun, is what you're telling me?
Somebody in chat has said that picking up objects is an item interaction. You get 1 free item interaction per turn. I think I actually remember reading that at some point, and that makes intuitive sense to me. So
Okay.
I'm okay making that a rule from this point forward. Each turn, you can interact with an item. Now, that's not like using an item, like firing a gun or anything, but like picking something up or knocking something off the
I'll
counter.
pick up the pistol then.
Yeah.
With my dominant hand.
Okay. Would you like me to give it a brief description?
Sure. I would like to look it over, and I'll press F to inspect.
It is so without doing a full inspection, because you're in a battle, it is a heavy weapon. You have seen flintlock pistols before. Typically, a flintlock pistol is a curved handle, then a trigger guard with a trigger inside it, of course, and there is a latch on the top of the gun that you pull back. When you pull it back, it catches, and when you pull the trigger, the latch fires forward, and flint smacks against steel, thus creating a spark which ignites gunpowder. This gun is nothing like that. It is very dissimilar. It has a more boxy, rifle-like grip. The trigger guard is non-existent. The trigger is much shallower, and more importantly, and you can see this because it's a pistol. It's pretty small. It's laid bare. There is no gunpowder dusting on the fire on the far end of this thing, like at the muzzle, at the end of the barrel. This is, and game knowledge here, these shots were actual bullets, not shot that was packed with gunpowder. This thing that you were holding in your hand is about a century ahead, speaking metagame-esque, but for the purposes of description, about a century ahead of what is presently available anywhere outside of anywhere, period.
Okay. Wait, so would I be able to fire it again? Let's say if I wanted to, the next time I had
It is a
opportunity
dual shot pistol, so presently it is unloaded.
Okay, so it can only hold 2 shots, is what you're telling me?
Yes. There are
At
2
any time?
separate barrels that have separate bullets
Okay.
packed in them.
All right, no problem. That's my turn then.
Like those big shotguns that you see with farmers where they like break the thing open and they put the 2 shells in the back and then
Hell
it's
yeah,
basically
brother.
that but in a pistol. To clarify for everyone, this is about, in terms of general technological development, we're in approximately the early to mid Renaissance period. So firearms would exist for like cannons have been around for a really long time, for example. However, things like artillery are a little while away, and most guns are flintlock, which means they take like fucking a full minute to reload, and they're mostly used by sailors or other people who can crack shots and then hide to take a while to reload. They haven't
Me
really
being
been
a pirate,
introduced.
of course.
Yeah. They haven't
with
really
that.
been introduced for civilian use, like, at all. And just to clarify. With that, it is now the turn of the person who had a rifle and then had that rifle fucking broken by Hen. They have a short sword. They're going to make a shot at you, Hen.
Come at me.
That's a crit.
Whoa.
You know what? Maybe don't actually. I'm okay.
Actually,
Don't forget about your hips bonus.
okay. So that is
yeah.
actually pretty low rolls. You take 6 slashing damage as this dude fucking rears back and hits you right in the collarbone, but doesn't deliver it with much strength on account of the sword in his gut.
Hey, Matthew, are you all right over there?
6
I call
damage
out.
crit. 6 damage crit. There was no response from the back room.
Okay.
Xanderhal, you're up.
After witnessing this guy attempt to kill my party member, I decide I'm done with trying to be non-lethal. I feel it's gone too far already, and I lethally attempt to
boy.
attack the brother who had the gun that was broken with my short sword, and I swing it at him.
Squad
So,
fucking W. That's what I'm talking about. These double standards where they can try and kill you and you can't try and kill them. A 21 hits
Exactly.
very cleanly and a 6 piercing does it. You rear with this sword after this person hits Hen in the collarbone, that bunched up pile of cloth that you assume soft flesh and nerve tissue lies beneath. You rear back and you fucking decapitate this guy. John, you just rear back with your sword. He has just a flash to turn towards you. fear and shock in his eyes before your short sword swings through the air, cleaving his neck straight through. You even leave an indent, scarring the wooden divider that he is backed up against. His head hits the floor heavily. His blood is dark red, and there are bits of flashes of yellow mixed within. His large body slumps onto its knees and then collapses onto the pile of wooden boards.
Squad W.
If, just so you know, if you had specified non-lethal, I would have described all of that the exact same way and then ended it with, but he's okay.
he's just kind of in a
cool
unstable state. He's dealing with it. So I get a second attack with my short sword, but can it, if they're within range, can I do it on a different target?
Yes, you can.
Okay, then I turn around. That's still within rules, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I turn around and I attempt to do the same to the other brother behind me, or brother, I assume they're brothers, I don't know. The other guy behind me with my second short sword.
Go for it.
They look similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In this instance, you actually have advantage because you are flanking this person. However, even with advantage, I'm afraid you do not get that hit. An 11 does not beat their armor class. Your sword is a swing and a miss.
Damn.
Squad
All right,
W.
I guess that's all I get to do.
Gotcha. Zilia, it's your turn.
I after missing as I have and taking a shot to the gut as I'm bleeding all over myself, I pull out a small dagger and I attempt to stab the person I initially had tried to attack.
Ooh.
Dang.
Well, thankfully for you, you're flanking. That is not, in fact, a critical fail of a 3, but a successful hit of a 13. You can roll damage by clicking on the word dagger down here. If damage doesn't auto-roll, you can just click on it. There you go. That's 3 piercing damage. You're getting him from the back. Now tell me, are you going for the spine? Are you going for like the shoulder? Are you like going for a cheek? What's the lowdown on this stab?
It's definitely towards the shoulder. I want to get right high in the back.
Gotcha. You hit it from the back, and you bury that dagger right in between the shoulder blades. Hoo boy, that sure does fucking hurt. This brother is now critically injured, as evidenced by his appearance. Yes.
Real quick, the other brother, that is between Hen and Xander. I'm sorry, is he incapacitated right now?
Oh, no, he's a little incapacitated. I'd say he's a little out of it.
Okay, just need to know.
Yeah.
Nice clearing my.
I cleaved his fucking head off. He's done.
With that, Hen, you are up.
Well, cool. I was about to.
Matthew. I'd keep calling out.
I am gonna
deliberate silence.
I'm gonna run behind the wall.
Really?
Yeah, that was my plan from the beginning. I'm glad I didn't have to disengage.
Okay. You run around, move yourself here, I assume. I believe in you. I could do it, but I will not spare you your suffering. Here, you're actually going to make it here before you are stopped.
Uh-oh.
Right after you round the corner. Matthew is... Well, you can now see past the divider. There's a corpse of a woman sitting in a bed of straw with a blanket covering it. She has, in every way, shape, and form, seeped into that blanket. She's not even bleeding, but her body is still scarred with blisters. There's gray racked across. She is dead as dead can be. And Matthew is actually not here. He's here. Next to the bed. Next to the corpse.
Oh, I felt like he left the building.
And Matthew has a pistol in his hand.
Another.
And Matthew is pointing it at the underside of his own jaw.
Of course.
Oh.
I'll give you a short time to talk, Hen. if you would like.
Let him do it.
Whoa.
Matthew, this isn't necessary. Can you? What is going on?
John's dead! I heard John
yes,
die!
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. That was not the plan.
What was the plan?
To help? I still would like to help.
You've done a good fucking job so far.
I have not done anything except break a gun. I am not here to hurt you.
To be completely honest, with these guys' experience shooting, I'm pretty sure even if he had the barrel of the gun right up to his head,
He'd
if he pulled the
fucking
trigger,
miss.
he'd somehow miss.
He'd open up the
gun-
roof. They'd fucking take on rain.
He nat ones and hits his mom.
He refuses to answer. He's done talking. His gun is
Okay,
pointed
well, it's still
directly.
my turn. Can
yes,
I lunge?
no, it is. I'm only saying he is done talking. The gun is pointed up at the underside of his own jaw.
Let me double check my spell. I was just gonna talk.
I really want him to shoot and miss. It would just be amazing.
You say that, then he's gonna hit.
No, let's just say the gun jams.
I would like to try to cast Hold Person.
Really?
Yes,
Go for it.
I do it.
It is a wisdom saving throw, correct?
Yeah, wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed.
Choose a humanoid that you can see within range. The target must succeed in a wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed for up to 1 minute. At the end of each of its turns, the target can make another wisdom saving throw. On a success, that spell ends. Paralyzed person can't fire a gun. Let's see how it plays out.
Yeah, it's either that or a tackle. I think that might be better. But yeah.
That's a 12. What is your spell save DC?
Oh no, my spell save. It's 11.
Would he be able to wait? Is there like any kind of physical signifier that she's trying to do this to him, or like would he be able to know?
Actually, that's an excellent question, Conure. Hold person. Yes, it requires a verbal component as well. The question is, how much does he know about magic? Let's roll to find out, because that is
These are
relevant.
Country bumpkins.
I mean, you can convince, like, preventing him from committing suicide, I don't think would, for lack of a better word, trigger him more.
I mean, you'd try to talk him down afterward, right?
Yeah. Oh, my plan was to take the gun, but yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
the big deal right now is to
Yeah.
stop it from happening.
Unfortunately,
Ew.
he knows not only that you
Jesus.
tried to cast a spell, but generally speaking, what you were trying to do.
Damn,
a
these
fucking
fucking
genius.
hillbillies are smart. Jesus.
That concludes your turn.
Right.
Unless you want to move or have a bonus action.
Is there anything else I could do to try and get it at this point?
You've used your
remind
action.
him about his
so-
mother.
True.
Well,
I mean,
Vaush
maybe-
said he's done talking.
Well, you can talk if you want.
Okay, well then I'll keep trying to talk.
I'll give you, just because
Oh.
we're on 6-second segments.
I know,
more or
I'm
less.
aware.
Yeah, a few more sentences.
I will say, Matthew, I'm sorry about this. If you stay alive, there might be a chance that you can help us. You can tell us about the plague. You can help me. You can tell us what happened to your mother before she died. We want to save the town. It might be too late for her, but if you stay alive, you may be able to help more boys like you.
All right.
And I'll walk up to him. Do I still have that movement? Yeah, I do. I'll walk up to him with like my hands in front of me.
Threatening. Gotcha.
That's not threatening.
All right. That is the conclusion of your turn. And it is now Matthew's turn. Matthew is going to make one more wisdom saving throw, and then that'll be that.
Matthew.
I don't. Are you cheering for or against?
That's not
Ooh.
going to do it.
Yeah, he's gonna blow his brains out. Nice.
He didn't get advantage from those kind words from Hyena.
Unfortunately, no. He got the roll
God damn
from
it.
those kind words from Hyena. Matthew pulls the trigger. There's no chance of him missing at that range.
I don't suppose spare the dying would help.
No, that just keeps corpses
Yeah.
from rotting. A bullet the width of a human thumb in a...
Well, that's not true.
Spare... Can I... You can't cast Spare the Dying right now.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it just keeps people at 0 HP. So yeah, if he's already fucking dead.
He's pretty dead.
Yeah.
He pulls the trigger, and a bullet, approximately 3/4 of an inch in diameter, in the flash of an eye, moves from the base of his jawline to the top of his skull. He is dead before he hits the floor. The gun still has one shot in it.
Hyena, what the fuck's going on back there?
Hyena.
Sorry, Hen. I don't know who that is.
The other one makes a dagger.
Are we out of combat now?
Nope, there's still one
There's
more
one dude
brother.
Okay.
The last one makes a dagger attack at you, Xanderhal.
We should try to keep this one. Oh, no.
What would I roll to determine whether or not he hits? Or do I not roll at all?
You don't roll at all, he rolls.
Okay.
And a
Okay.
10 probably does not hit you.
Yeah, my armor is 15.
Yeah, that does not hit you. He misses with the dagger attack. Why?
Nice.
It's now your turn.
I just skip, scoot, and skedaddle. Yeah.
Cool.
And I heal my boy,
Which boy do you heal?
Xander.
I'm
So
fine.
I don't want to kill. Well, I don't want to kill him, and I don't want to do nothing.
Exilia's hurt, isn't she not?
Xander hasn't taken damage, I don't think.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Exilia.
Yeah, I'm not too hurt. I have 18 out of my previous
Well,
21.
wh- I have a
hit point
long
maximum,
sword. What
but-
the fuck am I gonna do? I'm
Please
not like
do
the rest
that.
of you, where like I'm gonna swing it at him and not try to kill him and fucking chop his head off.
Xander knows that the pirate's life is a very uncertain one, all right? Sometimes
You
can
have
jump at
claws.
conclusions. And I used
What you
them-
think?
and
What you think they're gonna do?
I inspected, okay, his innards, all right?
That's it. I'm not healing anybody. I end my turn.
You gently place Matthew's debrained body into bed. Good chat.
Nicely done.
I say in character.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Cleave this man in half.
Oh, okay. I try to tackle him.
Okay, go for it. This is essentially an attempt to grapple. Go for it.
Would that be a strength?
That would be yeah. Just make it a strength. A strength check. That is an 18. That's pretty fucking good. Let's see what he gets. I'm actually going to give him disadvantage on this because he's flanked now by 3 people and has taken heavy injuries.
Oh.
Holy shit! Even with disadvantage, he was only 1 point away from losing it. This fucking mountain of a man turns to your tackle and fucking resists just barely. You bring him down, knocking him on his ass, tackling, and with that, with his grapple, he drops the dagger and combat is left. You knock him down, his back hits the dresser behind him. He fucking slams against that. He's bleeding rather hard, but you know, rules of the game, he's not going to bleed out. He is, at least for now, alive. He's also tearing up rather severely. He looks up at you, Y, and says nothing, but his facial expression carries with it all of the gravitas and severity you would expect from somebody who went from losing their mother one day to losing their 2 brothers the next.
You'll save so many.
I say, you shouldn't have tried to attack us, you damn fool.
He says
And
nothing.
before like Xander walks up and
I'm gonna-
stabs him anyway.
Actually, you know what? That might be a good idea.
Wait,
He's
no! I would
Listen, I'm a
restrict.
drow. I'm a drow, you know. I may not be evil, but hey, all right. I'm just memeing.
I would like to go take the gun from Matthew's body and then inspect them.
Gotcha. Kazooie,
Was good.
have you been holding on to that weapon this time?
Yep.
Interesting news. Remember how I described it to you?
Mm-hmm.
The components of the gun are no longer in the state that they were when you first picked up that weapon. The wood has rotted to the point that there are cracks forming across the handle, and the gun barrel has rusted to the extent that it is actually warping.
I would like to place the gun on the ground or on the table.
You do so.
Yeah, how's the gun I grab look then?
As you watch it, it is deteriorating.
Ah.
Can you save the inanimate gun?
I don't have mending, so probably not.
Or
I
Quite
look
convenient,
over.
really.
I look over at the weirdly quickly decaying firearms in my party member's hands, and I say, "What the hell is this sorcery?"
And then what can I
Uh,
inspect of the
wait.
corpses?
wait, should we do nothing for the dude bleeding out here?
You can heal him.
You can eat shit and
Okay,
die.
well, fucking I heal him.
Roll,
Okay, I would
roll
like
for Cure Wounds. Well, hold on. Let's settle Cure
I'd
Wounds
like to
first.
tie him up with some rope first.
Yeah, probably.
If
Yeah,
that's possible.
yeah. This is this looks like this house was for logging, so there are materials in here for that. You could tie him up without much resistance. He's not putting up a fight.
Epic.
Yeah. Roll for Cure Wounds.
Pardon,
Oh, and
what's
real
a
quickly-
spellcasting modifier.
So go ahead.
Your spellcasting modifier would be your proficiency bonus plus the bonus of whatever stat you use to cast the spell. You're a paladin, so charisma. So your spellcasting modifier would be 4 in total.
Oh,
Oh no, 2. I'm sorry, 2. It doesn't count proficiency. I'm
Okay.
bad. I'm a shitter. Don't listen to me. Okay, you heal him for 5. That's actually pretty substantial. You touch him, and healing magic courses across his body. What were the injuries done to him again? He was stabbed in the back, but before that, what happened? Punched. He was psychic
He was
punched by Kazooie.
Yeah, brain melt.
Yeah, his you see the blood around his ears dries, and you can hear as the brain inside the skull reforms itself like a Jenga house, collapsing in reverse. It
reinflates.
the tone shifted.
You kind of hear.
And with that horrible mental damage removed, he says, Gods, what have you done? What have you done to my boys?
Real quickly, I'd like to walk.
Save them.
I'd like to walk over to the door and see if the commotion has brought any attention our way.
That's actually
Yeah, there are a lot of gunshots.
an excellent question. Roll perception.
Just peek my little head out the door, not open it all the way.
Yeah, roll
I
perception.
think the town would be on our
Perception.
side, though.
That's
Hey,
a crit.
I've got the eyes of a hawk.
There is nobody watching. I'd love to give
Okay.
you more interesting response than that, but there is nobody out there.
That's about all I needed to know.
Let me know when I can roll to look at the corpse and
Now you can, yeah,
loot
go for it.
and stuff.
The corpse of Matthew.
So what do I do? Matthew and then the mother. Actually, I would like to look at the mother first and then Matthew.
Sure. You can roll investigation or medicine, depending on what you would prefer, and I'll give you answers corresponding to which you choose.
In which part
What's
of
the
Matthew?
difference?
Well, investigation would be more a general thing, whereas medicine would be specifically understanding the extent of the plague and how she died.
Oh, I mean, I'll be doing medicine.
Okay, roll medicine. Nice, that's a solid 18. She died from the plague. So you're a doctor. I can give you a general breakdown. This disease.
I'm not a doctor, but that's okay.
You're doctor-like. You wear a doctor's mask. This disease doesn't correspond to the symptom. Excuse me. To the symptoms of any other existing ailment that you are familiar with. The decaying of the skin obviously began well before this woman died. The injury to her body is grievous, though there are no marks of actual injury on her person, no attack wounds or anything of the sort. What's more, you are able to see through some portions of her skin. She is naked, for the most part. Most of the clothing atop her has been sort of pulled apart and used as bandages for the less composed portions of her body. The translucent elements of her skin allow you to see through it and look at the dead organs. The dead organs are, for the most part, blackened with severe signs of necrosis that extends well beyond what you would expect to happen within a few days.
Okay, so unnatural, as expected.
Yes.
I would like to, if it is possible, empty out one of my little vials and like take a sample.
Sure. A sample of blood or of flesh?
Both?
Okay, getting it all in there. Slurping it up. All right.
I would like to look at...
What else is to be done?
I want to look at Matthew and I want to see if he's showing any early signs of the plague.
Yes.
Just to see how it develops, maybe.
Matthew is afflicted. Are you rolling investigation?
That's medicine.
Okay. Yes, he... My apologies. He is showing early signs of the plague, unquestionably.
Do I need to re-roll for him?
No. I mean, the extent to which you can understand this on like a chemical level is not really possible right now. But he was in the early stages of the plague, unquestionably.
Okay, cool. Does he have anything interesting on him other than the gun?
For that, you would have to roll investigation, and then we'll get to other players.
Okay, so can I do that? Yeah?
Yeah, roll investigation. There is nothing significant on his person, no weapon or no weapon accessory, save for the holster he had the first pistol he dropped in, the one that rotted to pieces in Kazui's hands. There is a note on him. It's in one of the interior pockets of his coat. The note reads, in almost incomprehensibly fancy pants writing, done with an inkwell pen, like the feather pens. Mm-hmm. It writes, "You will hear the sound of drums today."
Cool. I'll keep that. Oh, I'll bring that to the party, but yeah.
All right.
I begin walking over as they're doing their stuff.
Is there anything else to be done in this place?
Just like a thorough inspection of the area.
I asked the person his name.
Oh. Why does it matter?
Because you can save this town.
How?
Do you not have the plague?
We all have the plague.
And you survive longer than the mother.
And my brothers, apparently.
We didn't know for that to happen.
He's being kind of an ungrateful asshole. I say we put him out of his misery.
Shut the fuck up, you drow cunt!
All right, he did a racism. Can I attempt to attack him?
You can do whatever you
I will.
want.
I'll tackle you if you try to attack him.
He's bound right now. He's no threat. I'm sorry. He's bound right now. Xander, please control yourself.
He did a racism.
Friend.
Can I non-lethally?
He killed his brother. Please understand.
You can
He
do
did a racism.
You can do whatever you want, Xanderhal. I would never stop you.
I non-lethally backhand him. All right, with my hand.
Can I grab his arm to prevent him from doing that?
Yes, you can attempt.
I attempt to non-lethally backhand him.
Are we doing strength rolls right now?
That'd be dexterity. You can make a dexterity check, and Xanderhal, you can make an unarmed attack roll, and whoever comes out higher gets that. That's a 15. Okay. Make your attack roll. PvP.
So where would my would that just be? Where's my non-lethal, or
You don't
where's my
have you don't have proficiency in unarmed strikes, I don't think. So for you, it would just be 1d20 plus 4 because your dex modifier is plus 4.
what would
You're always
would I-
proficient with unarmed attacks. Is that true?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how I roll this.
That's
Here,
right.
Here,
Should
I'll
I just
roll
do
it. Here, I'll show you. Look, it's a
Okay,
learning exercise.
okay.
So
Okay.
all you would do if you want to do a manual roll is /R space, and then you want 1d20 plus 6, and it's plus 6 because you have 2 for your proficiency modifier and 4 for your dexterity modifier.
So I would just roll that right now.
And I just rolled that for you,
We'll
thank
make him roll it.
but
Okay.
you should roll it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a hefty roll, a 24. I'm terribly sorry, Huai, but you can't stop that. You backhand the shit out of the bound man whose family you just murdered.
What
And
an
I scream.
asshole.
I should clarify. I scream. Shut the fuck up, you racist cunt!
We need to
We only
asterisk your torture.
Just for clarity's sake, Xander only murdered one of them. The other guy committed suicide. Relax.
I did. However, he is racist, and so he does get the backhand.
He's sobbing and no longer seems interested in talking.
Interesting how that works, really.
Can I want to cast detect magic in this room.
Go for it. For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any. The spell can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt. Elixia, much like with the forest when you attempted this earlier, this place is suffused with magical energy. It's thick in the air like smog. There is a faint trace of magic coming from the living brother. The 2 dead ones emanate none, nor does the corpse of the mother. However, the firearms do, at least the ones that haven't deteriorated.
Huh.
Can
We
I
take their
tell what
guns.
school of magic, or is it?
I said Elixia instead of Exilia, didn't I?
Yeah, it's okay.
Cringe. All right. What did you say? What school of magic?
Yeah,
Necrotic. Or sorry, necromancy.
even on the guns.
Even on the guns.
Okay.
Wait, so the guns are dying, so they could have been saved.
Quick, cast Cure Wounds. So with that said, so to avoid spending the rest of the session inside of this one house, what is the party's plan right now?
Are we saying this out of character or what?
We definitely have to do something
we're
about this
talking
bound
to each
man
other.
I mean, I
Um,
say we leave him here. I mean, like, fuck.
tied up.
I say we leave him
Um,
here for what's his name, Robin to deal with.
I think we should ask Bob what the town would have done with this man.
Yeah, I agree. Why?
Are you?
Well, I do not want harm to come to him.
Do you then make the decision to leave this place and return to Robert, who's just down the road?
I would prefer at least one of us stay here, so I'll stay here if they want to.
Have the
I
guns
mean-
fully decayed?
Has
Well, I
what
feel
fully
like somebody's
decayed?
going to come in and kill him, but you know.
I mean, that's their law. I mean, what are we gonna do? I mean, hey, he's a racist. I mean, let's be honest here. In real life, or I mean, in game, we would all, leave him to. You know what I mean?
I don't know about that,
No.
but all right.
Are we going to carry the mother out?
No.
I feel like we should bring the mother to Robert. Then.
She's like goo, but yeah.
Yeah, the
well, we're
mother is
supposed
the
to
mother
bring
is
her to
melting into the
Robert.
sheets.
You want to carry fucking furniture? What are we, movers now?
I can bundle her up in the sheets like a sack,
Exactly.
I guess.
Exactly.
I mean, Robert doesn't seem to be in any sort of condition to carry anything. You saw those bandages.
Oh,
They have
this
to
is
bury him.
respectful.
I mean, we need to bring all the bodies. I assume.
What is
'cause-
the plan?
I'll begin bundling up the mother in her sheets to carry like
Oh,
a sack.
God.
Okay.
Xander, since you've slain this man, can you bring him to the Gravekeeper as well?
Would I have to roll athletics or strength or something to know if I can carry his body and his head?
Throw the head in a sack, and you'll be able to drag the body. It'll be gruesome
Alright.
though.
Okay, yeah, I'm down.
If you pull him by his arms, the blood spurting from his neck will slick the ground and allow his ass to drag across it a little more easily.
Modern problems require modern solutions.
All right. Hen,
Vaush,
roll. Wait, really quickly. Hen, roll medicine to avoid getting icky, gross corpse juice all over yourself. And what were you saying, Kazooie?
Are the guns fully deteriorated by this point?
The one, not all of them. The gun that Matthew used was never touched by any of you, and thus is in perfect condition.
Well, I thought Hen picked up that gun.
Yeah, I have a gun.
Oh, it's juice. It's dust now.
Oh, you said it had a bullet in it, so that didn't matter?
No.
Okay.
So nothing is left of these guns, is what you're telling me? Nothing I could keep with me?
Oh, I mean, there's wood dust and horribly rusted metal, completely unusable, but there are physical materials left.
Probably
Okay,
good to
I'll-
study.
Yeah, I'll bring a piece of one of them.
Gotcha.
Put it in a
Friend, what,
Alright,
what,
let's
what do you
wrap it up
think
in
of
a
the local
cloth or something.
graveskeeper?
Put it in my pack.
You asked a
Did you
question.
just call this man a friend?
Well, I ain't know his name, and I ain't calling him. I mean, he just got backhanded.
He is not answering any questions at this time.
So like he wouldn't be willing to come with us.
He
I
is
would-
he is despondent. Why?
I mean, we could carry him. He's bound.
I mean, if you want to, I mean, it's gonna be a team effort to carry this motherfucker, dude.
I don't think we can get much out of him anymore. I think we should leave him, but probably untie him before we do.
I mean, both those are bad options, but the latter
Well, we gotta
being
pick
the
one of them.
best. Yeah, untie him, I guess.
Okay. Team plan. Hen, roll medicine.
Why?
Because you're trying to bundle up the
What?
body. Xanderhal, roll strength. Let's see how well you carry a corpse.
I'm just picking up the sheets, but all right.
Yeah, to avoid getting icky corpse juice on yourself.
Oh, I'm fine getting it on myself.
Well, generally speaking, an effort is made to avoid. Okay, Xanderhal, you pass. Hen, you
She's
pass with
rolling
flying
around in it.
colors. You psychically levitate the body and wrap
Wait, if
a
she's fine with it, just get it all over her.
No, I did it. I guess I'm clean. It's fine.
She never cared, but she sure did try. You untie the hand wrappings of the remaining living and currently unnamed brother who follows along with the party. And as you leave the place with corpses in hand, wait, who's carrying Matthew's corpse?
Oh, shit.
I'll carry it.
Okay.
I'm very small. I can't carry much of anything.
Matthew is much skinnier than his two brothers and is therefore reasonably easy to move, regardless of the strength of the person. Matthew's head has a hole in it from top to bottom. You bring this parade back down the street, carrying corpses openly wrapped, swaddled in cloth, and Robin is leaning against one of the exterior walls of the Gravekeeper's facility. He looks at you briefly before averting his eyes and walking away.
Yikes.
You've made it now to the porch of Robert's place. Do you enter?
Yeah.
Can we knock?
You can, but the door is still ajar.
Did we get the name of the man who's alive?
No,
On our way over, I would like to talk to him.
he is not talking.
Ah,
His cheek is still red.
Yeah.
Do you enter?
Yeah.
As soon as you enter, as soon as the door begins to open, you hear from within, oh. I suppose diplomacy didn't work out.
well, we
No, they-
certainly
They
tried.
had guns.
I didn't. They were all a bunch of racist assholes anyway.
There were 5 holes behind my head.
You're a
Robert,
graveskeeper. Is this not what you want?
Robert, in spite of the fact that he's speaking to you, looks substantially more dead than the woman who was swaddled in cloth did, like a walking corpse. He responds. He says, I don't want to see this town hurried to its grave any faster than it needs to be. I just need to make sure the rites are conducted properly.
Yes, this was not a...
And it seems I'll be up
plan
later
then.
conducting rites than I expected. Here, let me see to it. Is the one swaddled in cloth the mother?
I'll nod and hand him the cloth.
He isn't coming forward. He's nowhere near strong enough to hold that.
Oh, I'll nod and carry it forward then?
Gotcha. Could you
I'm hanging
please
out by the door.
Could you please set them there, all of them, there on the far side of the room? He points towards something that looks like like it was once a bed, but is now so caked with scabbed over blood and discarded bandages that it looks more like a seeping, rotting abscess of the earth itself.
Cool.
Do you place the corpses there?
I mean, yeah, that's what he asked.
All right. I mean, you can defy requests, so I need the clarification.
I don't need this body.
He says, and that's Matthew, and that's John, and the one with you.
Don't say Luke.
I don't know his name.
Bernie.
No, his name is Bernie. No.
Bernie, well known in our village as the least racist man. He pioneered civil rights in our community.
Wait, you're more upset over Bernie over literally Jesus Christ?
Wait, what?
A pioneer of civil rights responsible for breaking down social barriers between elves and dwarves
Shut up.
and all the other races alike in our place. I'm glad you were
Excellent,
able to keep him
Xander.
alive. His virtue is unquestionable. I'm sorry things went this poorly.
He seems to be quite progressive, in fact,
Indeed.
despite being a man.
I'm glad we all
Super
got
racist.
I'm glad we all got the same impression of him.
Wait, I'm sorry. So this person you just described is the one that's still alive?
Yes.
That called Xander a drow? Fuck, okay.
Okay.
Everyone, even the non-racists hate Drow.
I mean, like, I did murder his family, you know, he had to bust. It's like those guys who are like, I'm not racist, but if a black person, if I really need to get under a black person's skin, yeah, I'll call them the N-word.
Those kind of people. His name was Bernie. Okay,
kind of
here
people.
we go.
No, but that's what the impression I'm getting here, because he was known for not being racist. But once a drow does something negative to him, then he busts out the gamer words.
Robert continues, and he says, the sun's going to be setting soon. We need to conduct the rites quickly, at least for these two, and he gestures at John and Matthew. At least for these two, we can be sure they're committed to the earth in time. Would you like to accompany me?
May I suggest that rather than bury them, we burn them? It may be faster and more cleanly.
I appreciate the earnestness with which you suggest we approach our village's traditions, but no. I know what these would have wanted in life. They will be committed unto the earth. I will not have ghasts and poltergeists wandering this place. I will not have it. We have a grave.
I understand.
Behind the remnants of the cathedral. All the dead are committed there. I need your help moving the bodies. Robin is done for the day. Can I ask for your help?
I'll help you.
To move ahead slightly. There we go. You travel with Robert back. Ooh, kitty. You travel with Robert back. Now, again, it's not a long walk. I mean, you're literally contained within a village. And just at that, at the very easternmost part of the village. But you head with Robert. You carry the bodies as you will. They have now been swaddled in heavier cloth to prevent the more excessive leakage that typically accommodates the decapitated, those who die of headshot wounds, and rotting, plague-ridden corpses. You head on over there, and while you're heading on over there, Robert speaks. He says out loud, keeping very delicately to the shade being cast, long shadows being dragged along the ground as the sun sets. He says, "You know, I want you to know I don't fault you. I know that Matthew is difficult, was difficult. He was a good boy in his time, and I respected that about him, but I recognized sometimes extraneous circumstances test us beyond our limits. I'm just saying I don't fault you. I understand things may not have been able to turn out any other way. One lived, at least, to carry forward their bloodline."
I mean,
He
to be
did.
fair, they attacked us first.
And he was his own killer.
True.
Yes, unfortunately. So
I should warn you, one of the plague symptoms is feeble-mindedness. I've felt it afflict me in some of my quieter moments. I've felt it tug at me from the sides of my mind, and I worry that not all of my decisions may be my own. I keep to myself well. I practice mindfulness, but it is difficult. We're here. You've arrived now. On the other side of the cathedral, on its eastern side, on the far side, the more ruined side, is a graveyard. And I want you to imagine something. Graveyards for small towns tend to be rather small. Makes sense. Usually families are clustered together. And you can see that in most of the... I'm not seeing the map on my end. Oh, my apologies. Here, let me change the... There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
And you can see that in most of the graveyard that you're looking through. You see the clusters, like you'll see the 6 gravestones clustered together, and all of them have like little plinths with like the family name written on. Like you see this, and it all looks well and orderly. The cathedral may be collapsed, but you can't really collapse a graveyard. It's, you know, it's pretty much committed to the earth. But you see pretty evidently where the plague began, because the plots of land that were broken into graves begin family, 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 and then a mound. A mass grave committed to the far end of the cathedral. Bodies piled into plots, errantly stacked, and corpses yet uncommitted to the earth, laid beneath a tarp. There are still holes open, and materials for burial lay strewn about almost haphazardly, as though they were not able to be used in their proper time. Robert is now in his element, and he begins to speak with something more confidence. Robert turns towards the 3 of you and says, "To you, Hen, please, commit this woman's body to that plot right there. Do you see it?"
Yeah, her eyes are kind of widen in surprise when she's addressed, and then she realizes that she looks like a plague doctor, and will head on over.
"Xanderhal, to the plot next, please, directly adjacent, to Hen's left."
I nod and I carry the body over.
Why? Why? You're the one who has the corpse of Matthew, correct?
It looks like a...
Hell yeah. Why, please, to the adjacent one. The plots matter no more, please. Family bonds are becoming increasingly irrelevant past the time of living. Please. Do you
Okay.
commit it unto the earth?
I hesitate.
Is something the matter? Why?
What is the next part of this?
After we commit the bodies to the earth, we see them through. We bury them, we sprinkle ash atop the corpses, and having known how they died, the manner in which they were killed, we commit them to a rest appropriate for their departure. And after doing so, we bless and we leave. This is in carrying with the denomination of this cathedral, fallen as it may be, and with the wishes of the townsfolk.
All right. And then I put him in the...
All right. The ceremony that follows is curt. Usually, funeral ceremonies take a while because all of those who knew the dead are present to speak and give their piece. And there are ministers to carry out rites and rituals. Neither of those things are here today. The 3 corpses are interred quietly, privately, and solemnly. The mother is laid to rest first. She is buried. The words are said. Her corpse is cast unto the earth. He waves his hand. He spatters the ash. He dabs the water. And he's done. And as he continues onward to doing this to John, continuing to depart with his corpse, he says the words and such, but you're no longer really paying attention, because there is something infinitely more interesting happening. You see, all of this is taking place in the shadow of the fallen cathedral. You're all in its shadow. It's quite tall, even in its ruined state. And because it's so dark here, partly because it's overcast, partly because you're in a shadow, and partly because of the general malaise of this town, it takes you a moment. Your eyes have to adjust, but you see it. In fact, all of you see it at the same time, like a mirage. It's only there for a moment, but it's clear as day in that moment. A skeleton, bipedal, with long arms and a wolf's skull, leaning against the ruins of the cathedral, its arms crossed, looking at the 6 of you. It's there only for a moment, like a flash of light dancing across water being cast through the air. But all of you see it at the same time. It's clear as day. Nothing is left there after that flash, after that moment. The bodies are interred to earth. Robert finishes his rites. And after he finishes, he turns towards the 5 of you, quite clearly winded, and says, "All right. That's today's work. Hopefully it's just one tomorrow. Listen to me. Please, please listen to me. Virtue is scarce in times of crisis. People grow maddened and fearful and irrational. Even more so now with the plague. Please, this must be carried out, even if everything else fails. Even if this entire town is interred to dust. Even if every last one of us boils over with the plague and our blood burns in our veins like acid. The dead must be kept from the living. That is all I need, even if it costs all of us, even if we're not able to do anything else. This is the only grace I can offer this town, a fair rest. Maybe that's all we're going to get after all of this. It's small consolation to you, I'm sure, but to me and to many of the others here, the knowledge that our bodies will be taken care of after their pass is all we have. If I am to be the last one here, I ask that you stay here long enough to see that my corpse is buried alongside my compatriots. And he pauses for a moment, and then he looks up, the sun casting the hollow sockets of his eyes in a deep shadow, and says, "But hopefully you'll be able to figure something out. Come, it's late now. It'll be dark soon. We have an inn, surprisingly comfortable accommodations. Are the 5 of you interested?"
Aye.
Yes. I will ask Robert. What exactly is your denomination?
Denomination?
Yes.
What god do you worship?
Earlier you mentioned a denomination.
I don't really know what you're talking about.
Your god? You don't worship a god.
He responds, "You know, to be perfectly honest with you, I never really gave much thought to it."
Why did you say denomination before? If you haven't
Yeah,
thought
exactly.
about it?
Thought about what?
What denomination do you follow?
I've never really thought about it.
Then why did you mention it?
Mention what?
I feel
I
like you're
kind
lying.
of give Y a look like this is it.
Can I do a perception?
It would be insight if you're looking into one person's behavior.
Okay, can I do an insight?
Yeah, of course.
Eat.
That's a 13 with a 20 off. There is something wrong in his head.
That's just a feeble-mindedness.
Yeah, I'd reckon he's decaying. He's actively decaying. Like, let's be honest
Yeah.
here. His brain
He's like
is
worshiping like the fucking dead Satan over here, dude.
this
Yeah,
dude's
the wolf
brain is.
god.
Listen, this dude's brain is Swiss cheese. Okay.
Yeah, literal brain worms.
But then why is he like whatever? Okay. Well, okay.
Yeah, maybe he needs some morphine.
No, yeah, he is super high.
That too.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, fuck.
He leads you away from the cathedral down the road, further into the village. So I'm going to show you players with a ping, and I'm going to describe it to everyone else. He is leading you right over here. The long building, the one that is perhaps twice or 3 times as wide as it is long, along the road, the one that is quite next to where he conducts his business, that is the inn. And as you're now moving further into town, it's evident to you that you're in one of the wealthier districts of this place. The houses are rather nice. If you look further down into the town, particularly near the mountain, near the mine, you see houses in a far worse state of repair. The inn, which is adjacent to you, is about 3 times the size of a common dwelling, and it is quite nice, actually. The rot of this town has affected it to some extent. The wood is wet and damp and creaking, but there's a fresh coat of paint over the window frames. You can see beautiful Venetian blinds silhouetted against the golden light of the setting sun inside some of the windows that haven't been boarded up. There is a strong brick base fitting of a nice accommodation, and the doors, the double doors, are wide open. You can see beyond them a tile floor after a short staircase, and on that tile floor is a desk, and behind that desk is the owner of that hotel. And you can tell he's the owner because the moment you are within eyesight of this place, as in on the street, 40 feet away from him, he looks at you and shouts through the open door, "Hey! Hey! Are you new here? Are you villagers? I don't recognize you. You're new here, right? I own this place. Do you want to stay here?"
Can I keep walking and go to sleep like when we came into the town? like in the woods.
That is always an option.
I'm gonna go do that.
All right.
I ain't staying in this inn.
Why? May I suggest it may be a bad idea to sleep in those woods? You saw what we saw out there as well. It seems like it's pretty dangerous.
Indeed. But I risk fighting a monster of bone or a monster of making you bone.
Hey!
Not in a good way.
Hey, where are you going? We've got clean linens. Do you've got?
Oh, I'm walking towards the dude who's
I
yelling.
just don't hear him, and I just keep walking.
Okay.
Come on, why? I'd rather sleep under a nice warm roof with warm linens than out in the woods being stalked by some sort of giant bone
Xander.
wolf.
Xander, you're going to awake bleeding into your bed.
I give a sigh and I walk with Hen towards the inn.
All right. Kazooie and Exilia, where are you heading?
Wait, so is Y the only one that's kind of like just trailing off on their own, or?
I'm gonna join Y.
Okay.
Absolutely not. All right, good
So
luck.
then
you
Xander,
fellas.
Hen, and I are gonna go into the inn, I suppose.
Okay, then this is fair.
Yeah.
So we are now splitting the party. I love every
like an
DM's
excellent
favorite
choice.
thing. Every DM loves it when the party splits.
Excellent.
Wait,
choice,
we're
guys.
not that far away though, but like. Yeah.
No,
We're still
I'm
splitting.
teasing, but this is perfectly fine. This is perfectly fine. So I am going to first resolve. So okay, so to everyone who doesn't know, when the party splits, usually you jump between the two groups to resolve things sequentially until the party eventually and inevitably reunites. Yes, Hen?
Oh, since I noticed them leaving, I will call them over quickly. I will try to call everybody around me quickly.
Sure. I ran up to Hen. I'm like, yeah.
Okay. Hen.
I can say, please, I just have something to show you. And none of the NPCs are with us, right?
No. I mean, the now that you've sort of been locked on to the inn, Robert is already heading back to his
Okay,
his
then
place.
I pull out the sheet of paper and I hold it out to them with the letters open, and I say, I found this on Matthew.
Are you trying to emotionally manipulate me?
No, I just didn't want to show you in front of Robert.
So it said you will hear drums today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Today? What about? Does that include like tonight, or is it just you have to kind of go off that?
All it
This
says
was a note to
in
Matthew.
very nice writing on a very nice piece of parchment that has been cut off into a scrap about a square.
Remember,
It says,
who
"You will
heard
hear the sound of
drums.
drums today."
Aye,
Remember
lad.
who-
Aye, lads, perhaps this is important. Remember that young dwarf girl, Samantha? She said as she was running out into the woods towards that bone creature that she heard drums. She was chasing
Yes.
them. I reckon this is quite important. Do you think it
Yes.
has any connection to the plague?
I assume that Matthew was already feeble-minded, and that the drums probably have something to do with that.
Why, may I ask that you and Exilia stay behind here with us and not go off into the woods? There are theories I have as to what's going on at this town, and I think it's best that we stick together.
Isn't it inside the town that's causing this problem?
Well,
I mean,
Well, even
They s-
people outside the town have been slain.
They've left the town.
they said that it was only people of the town that are afflicted.
Right. So we should not sleep
No,
in
they-
this town.
I would
they said
assume that
only
it's people
those
that have
who
been
live
born
here,
in the
though.
town.
Yeah.
Nah. We're encouraged.
Nah, dog.
No. the graveskeeper, he's been here far after the church has been in ruin, and yet he has also gotten the plague. He's not born here.
Perhaps Y makes a good point. If we risk if this plague attacks those who live here. We don't know what it means to live here. This plague or this curse must have some sort of understanding, but maybe it's smart if we don't spend the night. I wouldn't want us to be infected.
It's up
I
to you
shrug.
guys, but I would like a decision right now so we can move forward. Who here?
I shrug.
Would,
I don't care.
who
I vote
here would
sleep
like
in
to
the woods.
continue into the
I'm
inn?
gonna stick with the party regardless of what we do. So
Okay, it looks like we all agree we'll just fucking sleep in the woods instead of the inn.
love
Okay.
getting
Okay,
enough
no.
quality rest.
Okay, the sun is setting, which means it's going near time to make camp. Do you all just like fucking walk away and never acknowledge the dude who's yelling at you?
I kind of give him a like no thanks wave. You know what I mean?
I wave at him like, hey,
I
yeah.
pretend like I didn't hear him.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Well,
Appreciate it, bro.
change your mind, we have really comfortable accommodations. I hope all of you have a good day. Okay, thank you very much. I hope you appreciate the time, Mordell.
Could his name possibly be
Appreciate-
Morty?
Shut
Oh, jeez, guys.
Wait, is his IQ at least 300? Because, in order to understand Rick and Morty, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
that's.
like,
I mean,
I
that's
mean,
the thing.
we-
You don't. It doesn't take an IQ of 300 to understand Morty. It takes an IQ
That's
of 300
true.
to understand Rick.
That's true. Damn, we got...
Yeah, so the sun's setting,
Lawyered.
so we have time to set up like a cute little camp.
Yeah, we don't have a bar. Does anyone else have tiny hut?
Huh.
I mean, I think we're sleeping under the stars today.
Yeah, I guess so.
I can grow some soft plants to lay our heads on.
So
I got a blanket.
I'm going to ask some basic questions too, because we're getting near like nighttime. So
Yeah.
I'm going to ask some basic questions for the establishment of a camp. You're going to go a little bit into the woods, I assume, probably a little bit off the trail that you came in, or maybe on it, and you're going to set up a camp, firewood, such and such.
Mm.
Okay. I want survival rolls from everyone. I will take an aggregate. We will see how well it is done.
Cool.
Here's a quick question, by the way. Since I am Aarakocra, right? Birds would typically like sleep standing up, perched on like a thing. Can I do that as a humanoid, or
Oh,
is like
please
my
do
weight
it.
too bad?
Please.
Because I would like to do that then if I could.
Good.
If it doesn't like inhibit the quality of rest I get.
Can I have advantage since it was my idea?
Yeah,
Well,
why
me
not?
and Exilia are doing fucking
Yeah,
great.
so far these
Okay.
rolls are Kazooie. This
He's
fits
falling
actually.
out of that tree.
Nice.
See that roll? Why?
No, I went first. It was terrible.
It's already. It's
Oh,
underneath the
gotcha.
inside.
All right, I'll give you advantage on that. So we have an
Yeah,
aggregate.
can I help anyone with my nat 20?
15, a nat 21, 23, and 12. From this, I aggregate that you guys do actually pretty fucking good setting up camp. You chop down those tree arenos, you slap it at wood, you light that wood on fucking fire. It's fucking, you guys fucking do it. Now, I play D&D for the sick shit, not for camp making. So I'm going to assume that competent adult adventurers such as yourselves can manage a camp in absent any exigent circumstances. And I'm going to move on to those exigent circumstances. It's about an hour later. Camp has been more or less set up. You have bedding rolls with your packs. I mean, again, you did walk here, so this isn't the first time you've made camp. You're a little bit outside the town's perimeter, and you're relaxing. It's about 9:30, 10 p.m., so it's getting late, but this would be around the time that, folks would start getting tired. People weren't up till 2 a.m. with their phones and Blidio blames back in those days. And it is around this point, when you all are around the fire, that something rather neat happens. The fire is weirdly dim. The light it casts doesn't carry as far as it should. The gray, rotting woods you find yourselves within are even more inhospitable looking than you would have expected from the daytime. The light cast across them does nothing to illuminate your surroundings. It's just a whirling miasma of shadows and overlooming elms and pines that cast a sickly, hazy mesh around the place you've chosen to make camp. And that light, that dancing light that flutters across the twigs of the dying trees and the leaves, it catches across something else. That fire pit you made, there were 5 people sitting around it. And then, quite suddenly, there's a 6th. A large skeleton, bipedal, with long arms and a wolf's skull. Like that, sitting there. 5 of you are around that fire, which means it's next to 2 of you. Who's to its left?
I can be.
I'm in a tree.
I'm gonna say.
Well, I mean, it was my idea, so I'll be to the left of him.
Yeah, White's idea. Yeah, Y is to the left. Who's to the right?
I'll be to the right.
Okay. Hen and Y. Sorry, Xander, you're directly across. He's looking at you, okay? You all get in on this.
I'm in a
Alright.
tree. I don't know. Does he notice me?
I mean, what he notices is beyond your comprehension.
Okay, I'm trying to be as silent and unnoticed as possible. Okay.
You are a bird.
He's sitting there, and it takes a second for you all to realize he's there. I mean, he's there. It's hard to miss him. His bones are sickly and yellow, like grayed, like poorly preserved anatomical pieces. But they are nonetheless large and imposing, as is the figure he cuts across you. The shadow that he casts across the forest behind him is even more imposing. And as before, even without detect magic on, Exilia, this thing emanates an aura of overwhelming strength, leagues beyond anything any of you are capable of. Like this would be like. In fact, I'm gonna make up a story. Hen, you've traveled, haven't you?
Yes, quite a bit.
One time, you were in the capital of the empire, Agri-Dier. This is a magnificent city. In fact, it's probably the largest city on the planet now. Enormous. Stone architecture, cathedrals, hundreds of feet tall. It looks like a Dark Souls map, except living. It's a wonder of ingenuity and technology. The bells chime every hour. This is the center of the world, and you visited it once. And when
there was my friend.
You were there with your friend. And while you were there, you happened to catch sight of a hero of this place. You happened to catch sight of somebody who was known from one end of the continent to another. It was a dragonborn called Biri, a legendarily strong warrior, known far and wide across the empire and the continents beyond, a person who can split mountains with a strike of their fists. And you felt, while standing by this person, a level of overwhelming strength that is now dwarfed by the thing that is sitting adjacent to you. And that thing opens its skull and says, I am forbidden from bringing any harm to you. It wasn't in that deal. But as long as you see fit to meddle in the affairs of this town, I will do everything within my power to ensure your impending absence.
I sit there clearly monka-essing.
What are you?
What am I?
Yes.
I am inevitability. I am the ticking clock that marks the death toll of every person who yet lives in this village. I am the future. I am the end and the beginning. And the 5 of you are meddling in affairs you are neither intelligent enough to comprehend nor strong enough to influence. You will die here along with everyone else, or you will come to your senses and die elsewhere in your own time.
I ask it, what are you, and what is your purpose?
He just looks at you. The black sockets of his eyes are yawning. They're blacker than black. You can almost see your reflection in the shadows cast across his face. There's something inherently magical about him. Even though he's some 20 feet away from you, looking directly at him, it feels as though he could reach out with his fingertip and claw your face off without moving from his seat.
Yeah, I just chill.
I look to the party and I say, I can't even speak. I just can't say shit.
Yeah, just
I
chill.
call out to it. I call out to it. Protector?
Sure. In another time, maybe.
I whisper at Y and I say, divine sense.
I try to I choke up again. I'm like,
And I don't
The
have
man-
divine sense.
Do you not? You're a
I can-
paladin. Okay.
You do have it. Why?
You do.
You have the ability
Yeah.
to sense if something is divine or demonic in your presence.
I do that then.
I am sorry to say, it is neither.
Dang.
Did we ever
Yeah.
detect magic on this creature last time we saw him?
Yes.
we didn't have to.
We
No.
didn't have to.
No, Exilia had detect magic on when encountering
right.
it.
Last time,
And-
not this time.
Yes,
'Cause
last
it lasted
time.
for 30
Yeah, that's what I
minutes.
meant.
And it was so magical that it was nearly blinding to look at.
Okay.
Yeah, I get the
Can I
feeling
just
this thing's like
yank-
some kind of god or something. Like that's
Probably.
the impression I'm getting here. Like this thing's just beyond our power.
I mean, just like baseball bat his shin, then like he'll collapse.
No, I get the impression that we're supposed to get here is that we are like literal children, and this dude is like the mountain from Game of Thrones. Like this would be literal toddlers trying to fight the mountain from Game of Thrones. Like we couldn't.
Oh yeah, we
couldn't
cannot
fight this thing.
we
if we
cannot
wanted.
hurt this thing right now. We can
This
chat
thing-
with it though.
Yeah. Okay. I say we ask as many questions as we can before it yeets out of here or kills us. Somehow.
I'm remaining
Well-
quiet.
What
I
name
Fair.
do you go by?
What name?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I'm clarifying. I didn't actually hear. I was clarifying.
Yeah, my partner. Yeah, my name.
Hard of hearing in his old ears.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have him.
Skull holes.
His
I said years,
holes,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
My friends call me the conductor.
Hmm.
The
Would you
conductor
like
of
to
what?
see something interesting?
No.
He
yes.
stands up. He dwarfs all of you by a mile. And he takes a step back away from the fire before turning around to all of you and saying, I am not too prideful to admit that my job would be easier if all of you would just leave. Will you just leave?
What is
Tell us.
your job?
Yes, Exilia?
I was gonna ask to tell us what it is doing here.
That's what I asked as well.
I'm making music. And he takes a step forward into the darkness of the forest, and with the reverberating thump of his bony, cloven hoof hitting the damp floor of the forest, that impact begins the first note of a drum beat. You don't hear it with your ears, you hear it with your head. There's something reverberating inside of your mind. A drum beat, it grows more complex with each processive moment. More instruments added, not just drums, but a trumpet and wind ensembles, and you hear violins. And before you even know what's going on, you hear an orchestra playing in your head. And at that point, he turns towards you. Why? Because you are the closest to him at this point. And you, why, draw your weapon.
I just do.
Like it's being
Yes.
forced upon her?
You do draw your weapon. That is a thing that just happens.
Do I know that I'm not intentionally doing
You
it?
you are intentionally drawing your weapon. You are happy to
Okay.
draw your weapon. And you place it against your own throat.
Oh.
I'm going to do it.
You love doing it. Why? You're not resisting this in any way, shape, or form. This is just
I'm
happening.
gonna do it.
Can I grab her arm?
In a moment.
I'm gonna do it.
You place it against your throat. And Exilia, you stop yourself. Because before you reach out to Y, you realize, as though through divine intervention, that it would be foolish of you to come between Y and her innermost desires. Which is at this moment to run herself through. But before she does that, the skeleton turns and shrugs and says, "But I'm not allowed," and disappears. Your hand slacks. Why? You can do what you want now. Same with you, Exilia.
Man, I was really depressed all of a sudden. I feel like I need to sleep.
I have no goddamn idea what that was, but I reckon we spend the rest of the night in town.
No.
Well, you did say you couldn't do anything to us.
Perhaps you're right. What do you think that thing was?
Monkus.
Who's scarier? The bone monster or the hotel owner?
I would reckon you should ask the stew of piss, shit, and cum in my pants.
God.
Yar, me response be contained in me trousers. Its smell be evident from where ye sit.
Yeah, I think you be knowing.
Did we only set up one tent? Because then I will go back into town. I'm not.
You guys rolled pretty well, so I assume you guys set up multiple tents.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I since I'm suicidal, I go and zip up a tent. Or
Wait, I don't get the impression you were
Close up a tent.
suicidal. I think you were like compelled by this, like by the power of this godlike creature.
I didn't
that
want
made you-
to. Or I didn't want to live anymore. Yeah.
You happily obeyed. I don't think you wanted to kill yourself. I think you were just happily obeying what.
Well, this can
part-
be what this can be how Y rationalizes.
Yeah, I leave
so.
it. I leave it up to interpretation. That was a
Okay.
severe psychic attack that was just done to Y's brain, so that can have some pretty devastating fallout on your personality.
Yeah, and so I'm depressed, and I don't want to be near shit-stained McGee over here.
Yeah,
I
need
wasn't
to-
planning on sleeping in a tent, but I was just gonna lay on a log or something. I'm used to this.
Yar, the
Same, I'm in a
log in me
tree.
pants be driving away me party.
At least I can use it as a weapon now. How much better is
Yeah,
that?
have you played Sekiro, dude? Shit is like a high tier fucking ranged projectile.
I mean, if it's like a log, I already have in my loadout a belaying pin, which I use as like a bludgeoning weapon. I can maybe replace that with this if it's got better stats.
I hate you.
All right. The rest of the night passes
Oh,
uneventful.
I would like to do something.
Oh yeah? Hit it
Yes.
up.
I would like to send a quick prayer to Solstice. I would like to set out some incense.
All right.
Do a little ritual, you know.
Do you do a dance?
I'll walk a couple trees away.
Gotcha. Hell yeah. Well, you're not on your god speed dial, so no direct response, but you do feel an immense feeling of satisfaction and comfort after performing that.
Yeah, I say to him, if there's any elucidation you could give me as to what is happening, Maybe I'll see you in my dreams. And then I'll go lean up against the tree Kazooie is in and try to fall asleep.
All right. The rest of the night passes uneventfully.
I'll be meditating as well, just by the way.
Gotcha,
before I sleep.
gotcha. You kept well, and you actually get, in spite of everything, fairly restful sleep. The next day begins. You are woken up, actually, by something rather distinctive. There's always been a faint scent of acridity, of burning in the town, just one of its many symptoms of rot. But this time, that smell takes a rather a pungent and extreme form. The cathedral is on fire, about a quarter mile south of you. And what's more, the wind is blowing the ash and the smoke more or less in your direction. That is what you wake up to.
Let's rush towards it.
I also.
Yeah, I'll scramble to gather my shit and start running.
Oh wait, can I clarify here? Have I cleaned my trousers at this point?
Yes, you
Okay.
will say you roll an Actually, you know what? Fuck you. Roll.
That's up to you.
Okay,
You brought this upon yourself.
That's
just
up to the rolls.
Matey.
apparently.
Before I went to bed last night, I went to a nearby stream or something, and I cleaned my shit. You know what I mean?
I'm
That
rolling.
wasn't
Some-
stated.
That'd be like a survival check.
Okay. Pig got a 15 on shit cleaning. I say that passes, sadly.
Okay, nice.
Anyway, you head then. You rush on over back into the village proper. And as you get closer, you realize that it's not actually the cathedral that's on fire. It's the graveyard behind it. The
Jesus.
stacks of corpses, or not stacks of corpses, sorry. The clustered graves have been lit aflame, and there's a deep, oily burn, foul-smelling one at that is ripping across the length of the graveyard. There are several villagers that are adjacent to this fire, pouring on alcohol.
Damn. Okay. I look to my party mates and I'm like, and I actually no, I look around to see if there's anybody else here, or anybody else around.
If you'd like, I could go fly above and inspect the area.
That's a good idea, Kazooie. Do it.
All right, so I will take flight, trying to avoid the plume of smoke so that I do not fly through it and get cancer.
Yeah, that
and
would
die.
fucking suck, actually. You take flight to survey the area. Roll perception. Okay,
Nice.
a middling roll. I'll give you 3 pieces of information. There are 6 villagers in total that are adding to this fire. The fire is contained mostly in the areas of the graves that were plague-ridden. And there also seems to be some sort of commotion going on outside of the gravedigger's house.
I'll go back to the party as well
All right.
after surveying.
I
I relay the information to them, of course.
Okay, yeah. Any ideas?
I say we check it out.
See what the commotion is.
To specify, you mean the commotion outside the gravedigger's office.
Aye.
Okay.
And sorry, really quickly, I missed it. Who is pouring gasoline?
Alcohol.
fuel.
There are villagers that are pouring
Alcohol.
onto the fire.
Oh, they're all just doing it? All right, cool.
They're not that advanced.
Yeah. Pouring, some nitroglycerin C4 on the, adding to it
They
with
got an
thermite.
Elon Musk flamethrower.
You guys head on over back onto the street and down to the gravedigger's place. The commotion is actually Robin, who is pounding aggressively at the door, quite loudly, as he was when you first met him. In fact, hey, Robert, the fucking they're burning the corpses, Rob. Ah, shit. What do you want?
Wait, to
With-
us?
with
Yes.
the fire.
Aye, what be going on here? What's the commotion?
You
There's
guys
a
having a cookout?
fucking fire!
Do you need our help to put it out?
I think we have to put it out. I don't know what to do. Robert hasn't. The door is locked for the first time since I've come here. You, Drow, could you break this door down?
Aye. Let me give it a shot.
Roll a strength check to do so.
Okay. Fuck, where is it?
It's just the top left.
Top left? Oh, yeah, you're right. Hell yeah.
If he has morphine,
Oh.
take it.
You kick the door as hard as you can, but you fuck up your technique a little bit and come at it from kind of an angle, and you sprain the shit out of your ankle. Holy shit, that fucking hurts. Whoo, Dilly,
Doctor.
just a fucking...
Doctor.
Ooh! God!
Can we get a doctor?
To be fair, I still had a little bit of shit in my pants, so maybe that had
Slipping
to
it?
do with it.
Are you gonna
Seems
go
like
for it
Xander
again?
Really fucked it
It
on this
slipped
one.
down into the shoe real quick.
Yeah, when I lifted, like when I did the motion to lift my legs, a little bit
Yeah,
came
kick
out,
it again.
and it just sort of, yeah. Can I use my other leg to kick
Yes,
it?
go for it. Yar, me
non-shit
ass
leg.
lube. Fucked up me aim. Yeah, go on. Roll. Ooh! You do the exact same thing
God.
a second time. But so I don't know. So spectacular is your second sprained ankle strike, a technique known only to the Xanderhal bloodline, that you managed to break down that door. The door was in poor shape anyway, but it was still a pretty fucking big door, like big heavy lock, you know? You break that shit straight off the hinges. It flies open and lands on the ground. Light pours in to this decrepit room. The door being fully open, and with it being the early day, the light is adjusted just in the proper place to shine through, laying bare the entirety of its contents. Golden morning sunrise pouring in to cast a harsh light upon the scabbed blood, the peeled skin, the discarded bandages, the puddles of acrid body fluids and pus that have poured like rivulets from the boils that must have riddled the body of this gravekeeper. And on the far end of this place is that gravekeeper. He's naked, actually. His bandages are on the floor. He doesn't have to wear clothes underneath those. He's leaning with one hand against that painting he did, that white depiction of the Protector on the far wall. He's leaning on his one good arm. His body is, to put it lightly, a mess. His back has been so ravaged by this plague that you can see the thin, almost paper-thin skin clinging to the striations of muscle against his lean body. You see boil and plague and open scab, blood dripping down the length of his back. There is no fat anywhere in his body. There is very little muscle. Bone is exposed at certain points. What little muscle there is has grown transparent to the extent that he is nearly as much a skeleton as the painting he's leaning on. He turns to look at all of you. The light is just barely hitting his ankles. He moves his feet away.
Hey, Robert, you okay over there?
Oh,
God.
oh, it's you. I... my apologies. It's been a long night. The graveyards are on fire, aren't they?
Aye.
So it would seem.
We have to hurry. Please, come with me. He steps forward towards all of you, his body now cast in light. It doesn't do much for his figure. He recoils from the heat before stepping forward even further. He walks past all of you outside. Do you follow him?
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Of course.
He's walking quickly. Very quickly, in fact. He's, sorry, excuse me. I love being able to pass off my genuine coughs as in character coughs, but that one, I couldn't. He's walking rather quickly. He's actually walking a lot faster than you would expect someone in his state to be able to walk. He's really booking it, in fact. Like, you actually kind of have to half run to keep up with him.
Hey, Robert, slow down.
He's fairly tall. He's a little over 6 foot. He's got long legs, but he's really carrying himself. He doesn't even look like he's trying. He's speaking as he walks. I've had a fitless night. The most miraculous dream. I had a prophecy. A prophecy. That something would happen. The coming morning, I thought I saw fire and music. And both have come true. Come. He rounds the side of the cathedral, stepping effortlessly over the discarded rubble and broken glass that is adjacent to the building. The villagers are still there, adding to the fire. They scream when they see Robert and run away. Robert continues towards the fire.
Wait, okay, so are we like in grabbing distance of Robert right now?
You can if you run to catch up.
You want to grab that?
Yeah, I would have run and like stop the Bobbert from running into a fire.
Bobbert.
Sure. How do you grab him?
But I mean, like a bear hug.
A warm caress.
Sure. Make a dexterity check. He's rather lithe, so
You split him in
Well,
half.
I mean, like that's why it's a bear hug, yeah.
Why, you're gonna deglove him?
you're trying to get him
Wait.
first.
Wait, which one was it? Sorry.
Dexterity check. He rolled rather low.
Dexterity.
Oh,
Try not to hurt this man.
we have a tie.
Ooh.
5-5.
Imagine not being
Roll.
as dexterous as a man on death's door.
Roll again.
Oh.
Nice.
Ooh.
Ooh.
He manages to slip by. You reach out with one hand and just barely manage to grab his wrist. And he, just not even by yanking away, but just by continuing to walk forward, shunts the skin of his wrist off. Your grip peels the skin of the lower half of his palm and a bit of his wrist off. Boils split as you peel the skin, and muscle fiber and bone expose themselves along the base of the wrist. He doesn't seem to notice much.
Why are you trying to hold hands with this man? Seems like there's more pressing issues.
I think he should be allowed to go.
Do you want to see
Okay.
something?
Aye.
Not again.
Do you want to
I
see
continue.
something?
Aye.
He's standing in front of the fire. All of this
So-
is an illusion.
What?
There's no fire.
What?
What?
Robert, I don't think so.
Bobbert's got no hand skin.
Can't you
Just let him
see it?
go.
What?
That looks a lot like a fucking fire to me, lad.
What? He says with zealousness in his voice. What is a fire? Xanderhal?
I would like to try to
It
find
is-
like a stick on the ground and throw it into the fire, see what happens.
I
Sure,
answer
wait, hold-
back.
Wait, really quickly. And this stick catches on fire. It
Excellent.
poofs.
Now
Yes,
we know.
Xanderhal?
I say back, fire be a chemical reaction and a release of energy from burning matter.
You're blind.
Would we know that?
Fire is
It's
a
not for a dragon.
pretense. Fire is Earth's lofty efforts to reach up to the heavens. But we know there is naught but Earth, and Earth goes only one way, down. And he turns around to the
mountains.
fire, and with a wave of his arm, a gust of wind soars from the west and blows the fire down to nothing. The wind knocks off extraneous bits of clothing, blasting your coats backwards. You have to dig your feet into the dirt to keep from being moved with it. A fence on the far side of the graveyard is blown out completely, planks of wood flying out as though they've been struck by a maelstrom. And before him, now, just a few feet away, is not a fire pit, is not a burnt graveyard. It's a hole. 50 feet across
Okay.
on both sides. Black. The sunlight
Could this be the
doesn't touch
mass
its
grave?
insides.
Lads, I think this dude might be a fucking demon.
Well, Xander, you did say we might want to burn the bodies. Maybe that's what he's done.
Looks like it.
He turns back around to the five of you and says, I hear drums. And falls backwards.
Yeah.
Let's take him to the inn.
He fell into the hole, I think.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's
Can
go feel
can I
bad about
inspect-
him.
Can I inspect this hole? Is there anything that I can see? Would that be like investigation?
You can investigate that hole.
Ooh.
Fuck yeah! Hold on, where's that investigation?
Who's
stat?
jumping in first?
That is a pretty high investigation roll of 19. You look into the hole. It is large. The light creeps in maybe a few inches. Then there's nothing. That is your investigation.
Can I throw a rock in there?
Feel free.
I'm do that.
It falls.
How long until we hear the clink of it hitting the ground or the bottom?
How long are you willing to wait?
So let me get this straight.
So I assume it's very deep then.
So,
Yes.
Wait. So
Kasui, you could always fly down there.
No.
Oh, didn't expect someone behind a mask to be so funny.
Perhaps we should light a torch and throw it down.
I'm
you
not
guys-
saying
I
no.
mean,
That's
I-
totally an option.
I mean, I
Anyways.
have candles, but we know it's like an endless pit to hell.
Maybe we should ask the innkeeper what he knows about this hole then. He
And
seemed
he's
like he
just
wanted to
gonna
talk
try to
about it.
upsell us on a room. Like, oh no, there's a shitty hole, but like, hey, look at these Gucci whatever. We can go to the inn.
I mean,
I
I,
mean,
I don't
think-
think we
wait.
noticed this hole before. Did anyone
We-
else
we-
see it?
It was
Why,
covered by the
you-
fire, I believe.
Why
we
do
have
you
Bob-
happen to?
Fire.
I think
We have
this is
Bobbin.
Yesterday.
new.
Oh, sorry. We can go talk to Bobbin.
the Bobbert. You mean?
Bobbert.
Bobbin. Bobbert's
Robin?
dead.
We have too many similar fucking names already.
Well, now
I
we
swear to
don't, do
God.
we?
I
Yeah, we got
guess.
one less.
Robert,
We have
Rob-
Bobbert and Bobbin.
All right.
No, we have Robin and Bobbin, right? Is that where we're at now?
Correct.
No.
Well, Bobbin's dead now.
We also have
Robin,
Sobbin,
Robin, dude.
Yeah, he
the
just
brother who you
left.
didn't kill.
Okay, cool.
Oh, and
So-
Matthew.
Wait. So there's a pretty big crowd of people like surrounding us, looking at this hole,
Or
right?
they all fled.
No, they ran away.
Oh.
You're the only witnesses to this miracle.
Wait, can I clarify something really quick? Okay, so what we just witnessed was a burning church, right?
Burning
cathedral?
graveyard behind the church.
Like things were clearly on fire and burning, right?
Oh yeah, very on fire.
And then when this wind came that he made happen,
We assume.
I assume, yes, the fire was swept away and there was a hole. Like it was covering the hole, or it was coming out of the hole. Like, can you clarify? Okay, so it was more
the
like a
fire
burning
obscured
hole.
a hole. It was all but an illusion.
Oh, so it was some sort of illusionary spell.
That actually caught sticks on fire and actually burnt the ground, yes.
Okay. I say, lads, we've got a lot we need to discuss. Perhaps we should take a minute and hash this out.
I think we should talk to Bobbin.
Can I fly up and survey the surrounding area now that all this has happened? Just one more time.
Yeah, absolutely. Make a roll for me. Just 1d20.
Oh, just 1d20.
Oh, that's a fate roll right there.
Oh no.
That's an 8.
Oh no.
You crouch down on your little bird talons and jump up into the sky and begin to fly. And you pass by the rest of your party as you do so. And then you continue to fly up and you pass by them again. And what the rest of you see...
Mind you, I'm not flying directly over the hole.
The rest of you see was Kazooie beginning to fly and then flying out of the hole and then flying out of the hole a second time. You're feeling nauseous, Kazooie.
Okay. I would like to get back to the ground. Not in the hole.
You may land.
Next to my party member.
Should we go to the inn? Should we leave the city?
Excuse me, everybody. I don't know.
Wait.
I feel kind of shit
Bobbert,
right now.
wait, you came out of the... Where's Bobbert? If he went into the hole, should he hit the ground? Somewhere in the... Like, how does this work? Because you went up, right? And came up out the hole. If you go in the hole, do you come out the sky?
I mean, he just fell into the hole and we didn't see him fall from the sky.
Well, but like where? Like it could be anywhere. Like it's gonna be raining Bobbert.
God, I hope not.
I suggest perhaps one of us jumps into the hole.
No, that's fucking stupid. Okay, here's my...
All right,
oh, wait, no, okay, we gotta be in here.
Yeah,
Okay.
Xander, be my fucking guest, man.
What I think is happening is the hole is an illusion and the fire is still going.
Can I cast Detect Magic?
Yeah, you certainly can.
I would like to step forward to the hole and wave my hand over it.
Sure. Let's resolve this first. Exilia, you cast Detect Magic. Roll a Constitution saving throw. That is not going to do it. You take 4d8 psychic damage for being in the presence of this hole while casting Detect Magic. You have done the equivalent of looking into the sun.
Oh, fuck.
Fortunately, low rolls. Nice. You take 12 psychic damage.
Jeez.
Your brain is racked with overwhelming pain and visions of impossible geometry, like a nightmare you're waking in.
Holy shit. So, do you reckon this hole is something beyond our comprehension?
Yes.
I say we go over to the inn and we ask the town about these happenings.
What about Bobbin?
Fuck Bobbin.
Perhaps Bobbin's at the inn.
Okay, we can go to the inn. For the record, I do not want to talk to the innkeeper. I do not like him.
Hey, Vosh, did we get a chance to see what race the innkeeper was? Is he a human or?
All you know is
What?
that they were short.
Okay.
The typical liberal got to bring race into this.
I'm just
I know his
curious.
race.
Bring
I
it,
just already
fucking pulling the race card.
I'm just curious.
Fucking Lib Conure. Ooh, I got mugged. Really? What was the race of the mugger? I need to
Sure.
know.
Why, may I ask you a question? Do you
Yes.
happen to have PTSD in regards to inns after you got your face fucking smashed by that dragon lord?
What are
God.
you
No.
talking about?
Because
don't
they
believe-
almost got smashed
I don't recall that.
sexually by that. Oh wait, that wasn't canonical, was it? The
It was-
second one
It was canonical.
It is.
Also,
Oh, it was?
after
Oh,
after
said that
killing
last time.
after killing that dragonborn that you killed in the inn, the errant slice opened up their trousers and they had a 14-inch dragon dick. It was enormous.
Yeah,
and it was
Hen
physically
kind of
perfect.
leans over and it's like,
it was worth. I think
Yeah.
that situation was entirely worth like the risk. You know, like I'll take a sucker punch for like the fuck.
Yeah, Hen nods enthusiastically.
You took more than a sucker punch. You were like nearly cut in half.
Wow. I mean, I would have taken a lot more than a sucker. But anyway, I
Yeah, no, from what I remember, why I got like her jaw busted real
Like
bad.
12
by that
plus damage.
We are
Yeah,
coming up
but
now.
it's worth it. It's worth it.
We are
if
coming
they
up
would have gotten
now.
themselves split open, it would have been more damage than that. So
yeah, okay, we can go to the end.
We're coming up
Yeah.
now in 4
Thank God.
hours, so we're about to be on our end hook, which I will
Okay.
happily cap off for us. As you walk back towards where you know the inn is, you pass by Robin. Robin has his cap in his hands. He's holding it down by his waist. He looks mournful, like he's getting ready for a funeral. As you enter the inn, it takes a little while this time for the voice to call out. There's no one behind the desk. But you step onto the clean tile of this place, and you hear squeaking as shoes, neatly polished, slide against clean tile, and from down the hallway that leads into the adjacent rooms in this inn, you see a tiny figure dart around. Hey! Oh, wow! You guys came back! Oh, I really wasn't expecting that. I thought I'd given you the wrong impression, but I didn't mean to. Okay, all right. Now you're here. Hello! And he squeaks to a halt on these freshly cleaned floors, and he takes his bellhop cap and gives you a little curtsy, and you are looking at the face of a 14-year-old boy. A pencil-thin, wispy mustache atop his upper lip, and one eye missing. A black pit where his left eye should be.
Oh.
Cracks and bloodied veins ripping across his face from its epicenter, like the aftermath of a bomb. Oh, hey!
Alright, what is your...
What's your name, young lad?
My name? Oh, my name's Anderson. What's your name?
Anderson. Anderson, my friend over here, White, she seemed to really like you when you passed by. She had a question for you.
Oh, why? It's wonderful to meet you. What's your question? I can answer any question you got.
Well, Bob, do you own this inn?
Oh,
Bob.
yeah. I
Say
inherited
God.
from my
Bob.
folks after they after they went away.
What happened to your eye?
Same thing that happened to my parents.
What do you mean went away?
Wait,
I'm trying to be
What?
tactful, sir.
wait. That's what?
No need for formalities out here, lad. Tell us what happened.
Well, the same thing as the rest of the town, of course. This was brought
So
upon
you-
us by sin. I've been listening, to Robert. It was brought upon us by sin, so I'm running this in the best damn way I can. Instead of my parents, at least there aren't many people who come by, so it's easy to clean. Is there anything I can do for you? We've got food
When was
and
the last
drink.
time you had business here?
Oh, well, money doesn't really mean much around here anymore, so it's been a while.
What do you enjoy, Anderson, buddy?
What do I enjoy?
Yeah.
Oh, well, giving people the best service they can possibly experience.
Oh, by the way,
Well,
real quick.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I just wanted to inspect the piece of the magic gun that was decaying that I have on me. Haven't done that yet.
The
I mean,
decaying
it's just raw
remnants.
material.
Yeah, has it changed in any way or?
It's near dust at this point.
Okay, so it's just gonna continue. All right.
Yeah. He
Carry on.
continues and he says, well, it's not nighttime, so I don't know if there's anything you need to be doing right now, and I don't know where you slept last night. I doubt there were any of the vacant homes that were open because usually we board up homes after the people who lived there passed away. But with that being said, I don't know where you slept. I don't know where you're sleeping tonight, but I can tell you that if you want to sleep here, that's the best sleep you're going to get, okay? We have free accommodations. We ain't going to charge you a thing. Sin is what did us in, and virtue is what's going to get us out, okay? So I'm going to treat you as I would treat my own family, except you're alive. But that's okay, because Robert says that you were born here and don't live here, so that means that so you should be okay. Are you by chance the heroes who came here on account of the poster?
Yes, we are, little Shapiro. In that case,
Little Sheppy.
I guess I'll take a room.
Well, yeah, we can have. I mean, we have more rooms than there are people who need rooms. That's for sure. We've got really clean rooms here and really nice linens, and I try to offer them to some of the townsfolk so maybe they could, live in a little bit more comfy. But most people seem to want to die in their own beds. Yeah, I can get everything set up for you. Oh yeah. I have a really quick question, actually. I don't really know what's going on much over here, and I don't really want you to share this information with anyone else. I really just want to see things get back to the way they were. I mean, my parents can't come back or anything, and I know that, and I've grown up and I'm mature enough to understand that they're dead and they're not going to come back, and I'm not going to mourn that. But I've seen this really weird white bone thing at night. It's run sometimes between the city hall and the mines. And that's really weird, and I wasn't able to do anything about it because every time I would go outside, I get a really bad headache.
Aye, lad. We saw the same thing as well. Do you
Did you?
wish to know what we know about it?
Nope. I know exactly as much information about this that I want to know, and that is as little as possible because I am not in any way, shape, or form interested in the whatever happenings are going around this place, okay? Knowledge begets sin. Virtue is ignorant. And the only thing I'm concerned about is providing you the best hotel experience you could possibly have. Please come along with me.
Aye, that may be a good idea. You don't want to piss and shit and cum yourself like I did. And I follow.
He leads you to the anti-piss shit and cum room, a special
Xander, can you
facility.
not be so crass around the young folk?
I'm a pirate.
He leads you down the hallway, and in stark opposition to the last inexperience you guys had, this one looks pretty okay. The inside is kept pretty clean. There are adjacent rooms. They're comfy. There are no real material possessions inside any of these places, but the rooms are indeed comfy, the linen's clean, no bloodstains or murder signs in any of these rooms. And he,
No,
after showing
doors
you...
ajar.
I'm sorry?
No doors ajar.
No doors ajar, no. Well, they're all completely open, because, no one's using them, so
Oh,
he,
yeah.
keeps them clean. He looks at all of you after showing you sort of the lay of the place. You can have any room you want. And he says, also, I mean, I don't want to get over personal here or anything because I recognize that you're probably only coming here for the whatever, pay was offered in the thing. I don't really know what was written down in the nature of the post that was put out there. But, most of my friends are dead, so I don't know, if you'd be interested in maybe maybe playing, a game or two with me?
I'd be down, lad.
His one remaining eye opens, glistening.
Oh.
And it is with that I am going to conclude this session, as it has been
I
exactly
had something
4
I
hours.
wanted to do.
You'll have to save it.
No, just let me do it now.
Damn.
Okay, do it quickly. I believe in you.
I just want to slip a gold into his hand and say,
Oh.
if you hear drums, do not go towards them.
I thought you were gonna put it in his eye socket.
He very quickly clasps your hand with his other and turns your hand around and places the gold coin back in yours, looks up at you and smiles and says, I want for nothing.
Well,
That's a cool kid. I like him.
Try
Yeah,
not to
Xander.
want for the drums.
I'll take the coin if you don't.
Xander and I play games with him.
All right.
We play some
Yeah, we'll
Fortnite.
play games with him, this poor child.
And with that, we conclude the first session of the Theater of Consumption. Thank you all very
Hell
much.
yeah.
I thought this went really fucking well.